had to adjust my belly button.
We're live.
Did it catch what I just said?
I don't think so.
Oh, I said I had to adjust my belly button.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone that was wondering.
Mm-hmm.
Are we really going to be discussing this?
Oh yeah, where's your
probably
agenda?
not until next time.
Okay.
But I went ahead with it just in case.
Gotcha. Well, hello, folks. Podcast has not started yet, but we got some podcasters sneaking in. I think we're a little early right now. Still got a couple minutes before the podcast begins.
No, we got 1 minute.
Which for us means a couple. No. So just some general reminders for all of our wonderful viewers. We do have super chats open, so that's always an option. If you ever have something that you want us to call out or you want to say during the podcast, we'll be sure to hit up all of our super chatters. Also, super chat will also be utilized during the Q&A portion of the podcast, and that will allow us to prioritize those questions.
Yep.
Other than that, we got Panama Matt in the house right now.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey. Yeah, we're trying to rope together a couple of other people.
Yeah, we
Saber
knew-
will not be attending.
Yeah, we knew that
Oh!
Paleo.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. We are anticipating that Gabe will be in the house tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna leave then.
At some
Well,
point.
no, Paleo Saber won't be here, so you should stay.
Oh.
Yeah, Saber might show up.
Yeah.
Knowing him,
He's probably gonna like call from his car or something like that. I don't even know where is he.
He's-
right
he's
now?
at a-
he'll,
he's-
he'll probably.
funny enough, he's in Minneapolis.
Oh.
Yeah, for
Again.
a family reunion.
Yep.
Ah. You got something on your lip.
Can you get it for me?
No, because it might be chocolate or something.
Stop trying to kill your wife, Race.
What do you mean it's chocolate?
It looks brown, so I'm assuming it's chocolate.
Oh God. The
I hope it's chocolate.
implications of that.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. Can you like point it? Where is it?
Right there.
Did I get it?
Yep, you got it.
I had to wake up so early tomorrow.
Yeah, how early?
I have to be at work at 5:45
Why?
because
Special stuff.
I have to go on an adventure.
Ah.
Should be interesting, though.
Because non-disclosure agreement. Gotcha.
Because not
Yeah.
agreement.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we can go ahead and kick things off, and if people start pouring in, then that's cool.
All right, first, can we do a clap?
All right. Okay. So
This is a thing.
is
'cause
this?
now?
That wasn't clapping. That was
It's
fapping.
so I can
Paleo.
more easily line up the audio when I.
All right.
edit.
Okay. So Sarah's gonna do a countdown, and then if Matt and Paleo, if you guys can clap, and everybody viewing, you can clap with us too.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, go ahead and set that up.
All right, so I'm gonna count down 3, 2, 1, and then clap.
So it'll be 3, 2, 1, clap.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1, clap.
Oh.
Well, wait.
I'm an idiot.
You
Okay.
screwed up.
No,
Sarah
okay,
said
so-
clap, and then she clapped.
Yes, I know. I'm an idiot.
3, 2, 1, clap.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So when she says 3, 2, 1,
Yeah. Okay.
everyone claps.
How about you do it? So.
No.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll do it. All right. You guys ready? Good.
I mean, I thought I was.
All right.
Now I'm
Here
not
we
so
go.
sure anymore.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Now
I was
the
expecting to clap.
reason it sounded delayed on their end is because they're hearing it and then
Yeah.
they're sending
I
it back
know,
our way.
yeah. Okay.
Because Sarah's sitting here going, "How are they clapping so off?" I love all the clap.
Well,
It's not
I
bad.
clapped because like my clap was delayed because I was expecting the word clap that time.
Oh my
because
god.
we already
Okay.
did it
All right.
twice.
Okay. Here
Yeah.
we go. All right, so now are we all on the same page?
I mean, I think so. Let's find out.
All right. Okay. So this time we will not say clap. This time it'll just be
We're
3,
just gonna
2,
clap.
1.
Why are we clapping again?
Syncing up audio or something.
Yeah.
Oh, but Craig already syncs up the audio. Like that's what I do with Toon Clash,
Okay.
like all the time.
I thought it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, because all
sometimes-
you have to do is
Howdy.
like put the audio to the beginning and then it's all synced up.
Oh, weird. Even when someone joins later?
Well,
Yeah.
how's that going to help
Okay.
you if you clap now? They're not here
Okay,
to
well
clap.
then let's just not do the clap anymore.
Let's talk about the clap.
No.
Oh.
Start us off, babe.
What?
Start us off, babe.
Oh, I like it when you say.
Oh, Laura's here.
Laura's here.
Oh, hello. When did that happen?
About a minute ago.
Not when we were clapping, that's for sure.
Are we applauding? What happened?
Just me being alive. Everyone was
Hey.
applauding.
Hey, good job.
Thank you, Laura.
I mean, after his most recent promo, I'm surprised he's alive.
Oh, as we'll see, it's not up. It's not live yet, but I do have a video coming soon to the ACRacebest channel. It was an adventure, to say the least. All right, you ready?
Yes.
The way you said that makes me think that we're live.
We're
I mean, we
live.
are.
All right, cool.
And now we're going to be super live because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is June 26, 2019, and the weather is still pleasant in Southern California. I don't know how this is working out, but welcome in. It is summertime. Some of you might be out of school. Others of us have not been out of school, or I should say have been out of school for like 10 years. So, go figure. But that being said, welcome in to our live audience, and of course those listening on delay. I'm ACRacebest, joined by the beautiful, wonderful, astounding Panama Matt.
Howdy. I'm glad you think I'm beautiful, Race.
You're welcome. And of course the amazing, articulate Paleosteno.
I will tell it.
He is
And then
one
there-
articulate fellow.
There is indeed Toodles.
Missy's in the house.
Missy's in the house, and we got Laura,
Hey.
who
Well spoken.
doesn't have to deal with SaberSpark tonight. Did someone just flush?
My computer made a sound. Was it that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did your computer flush?
I heard a flush. I heard the computer sound, but also a flush.
All of a sudden, also we hear Saber go, "Hey guys!"
He did break into my apartment before he flew out.
Really?
Yeah, he broke into my apartment and left me flowers and cookies. That was pretty cool.
Nice.
That was sweet. Did he wash his hands?
Who knows? I was at work.
One person's crime is another person's romantic
Gesture.
gesture.
There you go.
All right. Well, we immediately need to say super big thank you to Missy, who has said, "Hi guys, still at work, just going to be listening off and on, giving some support. Let's start the podcast off strong. Clap." And
I'm
Thank
apparently
you,
stupid
Missy.
and making things harder for myself.
Missy, along with our other super chatters, Missy's always been a very generous supporter of ours here and has helped us actually upgrade. We've upgraded our microphone recently. We now have a desk that Sarah and I both can fit at. So it's through the help of the super chatters that we're able to upgrade this production. And again, a huge thank you, Missy. You're always so very generous, and we can't thank you enough for that.
Thank
So
you,
thank
Lord.
Oh my
you
goodness, yes.
so much. Sarah, it's a podcast,
Yes, it is.
which means there's got to be food.
There's gotta be food.
Wait a minute. Did Taylor's post make it?
Yes.
Taylor, your post made it on the hashtag foods. You did it.
Yes.
Hashtag SPP foods, by the way, for anyone that wants to show us what you're eating. We go through this every podcast. What are you guys eating? As far as us podcasters, anyone eating?
I've got some Sprite.
Nice.
What did Laura say?
Scotch.
I like it.
Jeez.
Although I might go make a little bit of dessert, and by make dessert I mean you do one of those single white woman mug dessert things that they make that I'm the target demographic for.
Or I mean, you could like get some ice cream and pour the scotch over it.
Yeah, but then I'll feel terrible because I have like a lactose issue a little bit, so
Oh.
ice cream is usually the worst.
Well, in that case, avoid the ice cream.
Yeah,
Have a-
or I
have a-
can spend like a lot of money on like coconut milk ice cream, and I'm just not prepared to spend that kind of money on ice.
Sarah knows that
I hear
struggle.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah's all up in those grills. She gets it.
Sarah, what are your favorite non-dairy ice cream brands?
The So Delicious I like that a lot, and I've actually been eating quite a bit of their ice cream bars, like the double chocolate dipped.
Ooh.
When she says quite a bit, she means that they're like, here's your one serving for the day. And she goes, you mean 2/3 of a serving, and then eats like 8 of them.
There's 4 in a
Well,
box,
it's like when you eat
and they
chips,
only last
and it's
me.
like, oh, here's your bag of chips, and one serving is 4 chips. It's like, yeah, like I'm gonna stop at 4 chips.
Right. I had a conversation with Sarah about this, actually, as this is related to food, so it's going to lead us into these food posts as other people can contribute getting their food posts in. You and I had this conversation last time we went food shopping, Sarah, about the absolute tyranny and evil of the juice box. Like, am I the only one that thought that juice boxes were always like one sip too short of actually quenching anyone's thirst?
I never had an issue with the
Yeah.
amount of sips for thirst quenching. I always had trouble stabbing the shit out of the box.
Yeah.
The straw would always fold.
Nah, see, for me, I was always like, I need one more sip, and it was gone. And then my parents started finding like juice boxes that were like 2/3 the size, so they were even smaller. And I'm like, this is stupid. This is.
Just give me 4 juice boxes.
Never enough.
It's no.
Never.
Never. Oh, God. So I had to rant about that. All right, rant over.
Yeah.
So
For
Taylor, with the working hashtag SPP Foods, says some pizza rolls and a Caesar salad is what's on the menu for tonight. Look how well
Beautiful.
plated. Chef Ramsay would be like.
Perfect circle.
Chef Ramsay would say, just looking at this, I would pay $100 million. Was that a good Chef Ramsay?
No.
That sounded
not a-
just like him.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura, for being supportive.
Yeah, okay. We got Railroad Bronies. Tonight for the semi-perfect pod, I got a good old double, no onions from In-N-Out with their pink lemonade. Also, lots of fries.
Okay, double
I
onion.
miss In-N-Out.
What, Paleo?
I miss In-N-Out.
It misses you, Paleo. Trust me. That's my order, a double with no onions.
Yeah.
And the pink lemonade's good.
Mhm.
God, now
Very
I'm
good.
hungry.
Especially when you mix it half and half with the 7-Up.
Are we gonna have to go to In-N-Out for dinner?
We might have to go to In-N-Out for dinner.
Ooh.
This stuff. Paleo, send me your address. I'll mail you some In-N-Out tonight.
Okay.
You've been a good boy.
But I'm at Saber's house.
Oh.
Well,
I
Oh,
have
how's
some
the
In-N-Out.
lamb?
He's good. He's
Oh,
been fine. I caught him barking in his sleep earlier. I recorded it.
Oh, what a cutie.
That boy. Princess Deadpool says multitasking between podcast and editing new retro reaction to Epic Pie Time, munching on some kokanee salmon my dad and I caught last weekend. To wash it down, I got an insert Applejack's poison joke name here. Sarah, have you ever gone fishing?
I have.
I know Matt's gone fishing.
I've gone fishing, but I always throw it back.
Hey, Gabe.
Gabe!
Hi.
Gabe, do you not like fish?
I don't like killing things unless they're people.
Okay.
Oh no.
Spoken like a
Dun, dun,
true
I wasn't ready.
Murderer.
military man.
dun.
Yes. No. I actually do like fish okay, but it's definitely not my favorite. And so, yeah, I've done the catch and release thing, but never keep. I don't want to eat the fish, but I do want to make them really late for something.
I probably haven't fished in like 20 years.
Yeah.
That's.
I enjoy fishing.
Do you do, Laura?
Yeah, I do.
Is there anyone in particular you go fishing with?
My
For?
dad. Is that like the most generic answer ever?
Yeah. No, I
Yes.
mean it's.
Is there anyone you go fishing for?
Oh, 4.
Yeah.
Myself, I guess.
Now you got philosophical with that. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it, but I
Yeah.
welcome it.
Turned that one right around.
You did. Yeah, you did. I
Like
don't
a
know.
record, baby.
Hirosashi?
Hirasashi too.
Oh my gosh, the party's truly happening tonight.
It's happening.
It's happening. Go back to this picture. Something of note in this picture. In the back, the Infinity Gauntlet
Yeah.
is flipping us off.
Yes.
You
I
said
love
it. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's totally fishing is totally a thing to do with your pops. My dad hates fish and hated fishing, but my mom forced him to go fishing with me.
Yeah.
And I had a Donald Duck fishing pole.
A Donald Trump fishing pole.
A Donald Trump fishing pole.
Only
Yeah.
$10,000.
Yep.
You will
My-
catch all the biggest fish. You'll catch them right by the mouth.
The worst thing about it is it was always too small. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Surprising.
hmm I am still in fact talking about the Donald Duck version of this too.
Oh,
by the way.
not the Donald Trump version. Okay.
Both
That was- I
versions.
was expecting it to be big and gold plated.
Norse bronies.
And if you don't catch a fish, it says
You're fired.
We got Norse Brony. This is from a while back, but I discovered my new favorite morning food: deep fried chicken with bacon and waffles covered in maple syrup.
now that looks like Canadian bacon.
Yeah, I was like, man, that's really pink bacon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I
It might be Canadian
Okay,
bacon.
Can I ask a question?
yeah.
What defines Canadian bacon? Because I, to this day, do not know.
Well, see, here's
it has to be grosser.
yeah.
Oh, okay. That's now I get it.
No,
It's
I love.
basically ham.
Yeah, it is basically ham. It's like a thin bacon texture type, but it's ham-ish.
Yeah.
But here's what's
It's not
weird.
crispy.
Do Canadians call Canadian bacon bacon and regular bacon like American bacon?
I can actually answer that.
Please do.
Yes, they just call it bacon. But they call them both bacon. Like they don't say American bacon. They're like with bacon.
No,
And
see-
and so like when the Creepers would say we're having bacon, they meant ham. And I learned not to get my hopes up.
Oh.
But then at like hotels with real bacon, American bacon, true bacon, patriotic bacon,
Yes.
they would just call that bacon too. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous. You have to distinguish it, because for me, I can call a Lamborghini a car, and a El Camino, they're both cars. But if I was gifted one, I'd be more excited about one than the other.
So Gabe,
Saying
would you,
American bacon is a Lamborghini.
Correct.
Would you say that Canadian bacon is the reason that Canada doesn't have a border problem?
You cut out right there. Canadian bacon's the reason that Canada what?
Doesn't have a border problem.
Doesn't have a border. Well, there's a lot of reasons Canada doesn't have a border problem. For one,
Okay.
they're not close to Mexico.
Let's not. All right,
so
next to the food
That's-
fest. We've got Anime Guy. I got some buttered popcorn and Diet Coke from seeing Toy Story 4 today. Next.
I want to just imagine that Sarah SpongeBob trying to blow out that fire.
I am sorry, everyone.
We're good. What else do we have here? Oh, here we go.
Got it.
Delicacy on a plate.
Yes.
Quiet Storm says, got a pizza hot pocket for the semi-perfect podcast. LOL.
Yeah.
It's a big plate,
It's a big plate.
or it's a small hot pocket. I don't know which.
Why, yeah.
Um,
Let's see. Let's dig through the notifications, see if we missed any.
Oh,
we totally
yeah.
did.
Nora's got a pupper.
Hopper.
Did she eat it?
Yeah.
No.
Nora says, watching the podcast from my parents' place as I get ready for a trip to Boca Raton for legal reasons, and hanging with my dog Lila. By the way, she says hi. Well, here's my dinner of frozen chicken fingers.
I didn't know Nora had a dog.
Hi,
I didn't know Nora had a
Lila.
dog.
I didn't either. Dang it, Nora. I'm supposed to know everything about you.
Yeah.
Then
think so.
it'll be balanced.
All right. Anyone else that we may have missed? No, looks like we got them all.
Looks
Cool.
like-
Thank you for
I actually did want to
Yeah?
mention something to everyone here.
Yeah?
Because so Claire Corlett wanted to join, but was basically nervous, and because she is always acts like she's tough but totally isn't, was like, oh no, I just don't have time, and I have crappy audio, and no one wants to hear that, and it's just kind of short notice, and I don't know what I would even talk about, and I don't know what I would say, and she's like, maybe next time. So I think that everyone should just tweet her and just be like, it's okay to be scared. maybe next time. Just make her feel better about that everyone gets scared sometimes.
Aren't MLP episodes going on a little bit of a hiatus?
I think
Right
we're
now?
at the season
I believe so.
halfway.
Okay.
Oh god.
Because
I wasn't
Yeah,
ready
but
for
there
that.
will be a special.
There might not be
I hate. Yeah, this special.
episodes
makes me angry.
to talk about next week.
Yeah, we won't have episodes next week.
Would we want to do a Jackbox?
Oh, Sarah's asking if we want a Jackbox.
Isn't the
next week.
special next week though?
Oh, I don't know.
Sarah
The
doesn't want to talk
special,
about no
yes.
BS.
We
There's
can
a
talk
special
about
that I
the
was-
special, and then we can play Jackbox.
Sarah wants to
Whoa,
play
wait, there's a
Jackbox.
special?
Yes, it's
Yeah, there's a
where
special
They go
in
to
the-
a town
in
at
the-
the end of the rainbow, and there's all this stupid. I know.
Spoilers, Jesus.
Every-
Gabe.
every
No,
time-
really.
Town?
Now I know
Oh,
they
Every
go
time
to
somebody says the special.
Gay-town.
That happens right in the middle, right at the beginning. I mean, it's this. Okay, I'm
It's in
mad
the
about this
trailer.
one.
The gay town is what happens at the beginning, is what you're
So
saying?
I was almost cast in this, like so close. Normally I'm not allowed to talk about this, but whatever. The show's over, so I can. Daniel did everything
I'm leaving.
cast in this. I sang the song and everything, and then he's like, "All right, now when you submit your audition, I'm gonna actually ask. I'm gonna be like, well, can I want the singer that I used for the demo, so just send me auditions and I'll try to match it as close as possible." And then they
Nice.
never sent him my audition because there are people who work in the show who just have a vendetta against me. So there you go. It's all coming out now.
Understandably, though. I mean,
Of course. So anyway, I know all about it, and I did the lines and I recorded it, but I'm not in it. They replaced me with another guy.
so what
yeah,
you're
I'm
saying
super
is
happy.
we should do a bronies react to it, Gabe.
Oh yeah, I will. Yeah, totally.
Send me your entire audition, and I'll just dub over it when I watch it.
There you go.
Yes, it's perfect. It's happened way too many times, and it's for totally ridiculous reasons. So I don't know. It just annoys me. But there you go. You know, I wasn't even allowed to talk about that before, so I'm happy that I can now. Yay.
Ah. Well, the good news is we know that things are going well for you. So.
Oh yeah, yeah, very well. I'm
Yeah.
very happy.
Yep. Well,
That's it.
I just want to say really quickly, every time you guys said the special, I kept thinking you're talking
Lego
about the
movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
oh
Every
my
single
gosh.
time.
The special. So
Chris Pratt is our guest star.
yeah, here. Sarah, you could do a Chris Pratt impression. Go.
No, I can't.
Come on.
Claire is texting me right now. What the F did you guys say? Or do? I
Oh my
hate
God.
you all. Yeah, she's mad. Good job, everyone.
Everybody.
Well, she
Really
can
good.
still come in and join if she wants.
She's. Don't say that. They say you can still. It's not too late to join. Oh my gosh.
Right when
Tell
she.
Jeff he's a turd.
Me.
All right, you're a turd. Yeah, it's you. It's your fault.
All right,
hey,
Claire.
she's not listening.
Game
She has
on.
no idea.
Game on. Jeez.
Tell her she can be SaberSpark for today.
Oh yeah.
Tell her. No,
Whoa.
let's convince her to get here, and then when she finally has the courage to join us, we'll say no.
Just like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
sorry, we don't allow outside guests. Your audio quality's really bad, so we just I don't know. It's just embarrassing.
We'll just we'll just be
Just some
real.
mental issues.
We'll just be like, look, Claire, we like to have people that are relevant to the fandom, and
She said, okay, this is great. She said, tell Steven he doesn't deserve the PH in his name. He deserves a lowercase v.
Oh.
It's true
You
though.
ain't even here.
It's actually true.
is true.
See, here's the thing. I don't know if a lot of people know the story, and I don't know how illegal this is, but I'll tell it anyways. That there was a time where Saber ordered a pizza with his card, and he was too tired to get it. This was at a convention. So he had me go down to get it with his card, so I had to sign for it. And he, with his permission, of course. So I think that
Of
makes it
course.
just fine. But I misspelled his name when I signed.
And you call yourself his friend.
I didn't even realize it. He looked at the copy or whatever, and he's like, "You signed my name wrong."
Wait, you know how to spell my name, right?
What ruined ACRacebest? I just, yeah.
You had like a Saber's voice with the cadence of Jay Holler.
So, yeah.
Sound like
So,
the movie film
this is typically the point where we do hit up finding out what everyone's up to. So, Hirosashi, let's start with you. What's new in life, brother? I was gonna say boy, and then I'm like, that sounds too weird, so I'll call him brother.
Okay.
What's up, Pete?
Work has been absolutely dreadful, but is now becoming less dreadful. It was so dreadful that it made someone from my team leave.
Was it you?
Yeah. No.
Oh, you said yeah, like real quick.
Things are looking up. Today was a lot easier. Yesterday was a lot easier. The day before was a lot easier. So like, that's done. But like for the past month, man, like, oh my god. But yeah, that's honestly been what's up with me. I've been restudying Japanese, and nothing interesting going on right now.
You guys should just speak Japanese the whole rest of this podcast with each
You
other.
don't want that, because I will. And you don't want that.
Kawaii des.
Kawaii desu desu.
Yeah.
Senpai.
Wow, you got the double des.
Yes,
Hi.
des.
What about I'm gonna
Oh,
speak
my
Japanese right now and say kayete. Yeah.
Well spoke.
Hey,
return?
Panama Matt,
Yes, sir.
what's new with you, brother?
Where do you want me to begin? I'm getting some friends, or have some friends coming into town over the weekend, which is going to be lovely. I have finally booked my flights for BronyCon,
Oh,
which is going to be exciting.
that's a thing. That you're going, huh?
Yes, I am.
Everybody
Clap.
gotta meet Matt at
Please clap.
BronyCon.
3,
He's
2,
gonna
1,
be the
clap.
tallest person there.
Oh my god. By the way, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jack Splade. I saw him in the chat earlier,
Hey, Jack.
and I have a story. I have a story about Jack. Assuming you haven't already heard the thing. We also have Britt, by the way. Britt Fields hanging out in the chat.
Hey.
Britt got engaged
Hi.
at MLP MSP. Yeah.
What? Congratulations.
Yeah.
It was
With
awesome.
the help
And
of
she
the
made
Who's
key lime
Line.
pie.
Yeah, key lime pie, and it was good.
It was good.
Yo,
Very
you guys
good.
got pie?
It was delicious.
Yeah. Delicious.
Cool, Matt. So was that the end of your was that what's new with you?
I mean, those are the big things. Got friends coming into town for the weekend, so I spent the last 2 days, 3 days. What day is today? Wednesday? Yeah. That lets you know where I am right now. Doing a week and a half's worth of work in 3 days.
Nice.
It worked.
Why is everyone work?
Yeah.
And I also went to
And this
Disneyland on. I went to Disneyland on Sunday.
Nice.
Oh, do you also go to Disneyland like every Sunday?
Not
week?
every
we
Sunday.
we
Not
go to
every
Disneyland so often
We've-
that we both, Sarah and I, were at Disneyland, and then Matt, you were there with a friend,
Yep.
and so we go to Disneyland so often that this round we were like, hey, you know what? We'll catch you next time, and we were just doing our own things, and we actually apparently I've heard we bumped into each other.
Well,
Oh, kind of.
Yeah.
we were
You
spotted.
guys walked on by, and we just figured, you know what? Those two are out for a romantic day alone. If they saw us and wanted to chat, they would have.
Yeah.
But otherwise, let's
We
leave
did
them
not
to
see
them.
y'all.
It's because we were aggressively making out the entire time.
We were also
In that case,
filming.
we didn't quite see that.
Yeah, nope, we were filming a promo.
Yeah.
Oh,
While
we go
you
to
aggressively
Disneyland so often.
You know
And
what?
we love every minute of it.
You know what, Laura? What's new with you?
I'm sorry. I'm just goofing on you.
Laura,
I
my.
didn't even
Oh
hear
wait,
the
no.
latter half
I'm sorry.
of
I
it.
messed up.
It comes from a place of honesty.
I messed up Laura's intro. I should have said, "What's up, Laura? My brother."
No. Oh.
I love that I legit didn't even get to hear the latter half of what Laura said because the former half was so wonderful that everyone just cracked up.
I just said like, oh, we go to Disneyland so often because we're so rich.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not after
Actually,
you buy a
we're
pass,
money.
you're not.
We're
They
actually
just live
poor
there.
because
We go to Disneyland.
We actually just
to,
couldn't
get away
afford
from
our bill
work.
one time, and they made us stay and clean dishes indefinitely.
and even that was more fun than work. Wow. But Laura, what's
Whatever.
what's new with you?
Nothing
Daddy.
too much. Oh my
That's
Dream
exciting.
Daddy. Yeah, I was gonna wait and bring that up, but like
Oh,
Dream Daddy's on mobile now, so like all of my life is just gone because now I can
You
just
gotta
date
date
dad.
all the dads.
So it doesn't matter.
Wait, what
Dream
is
Daddy
what is this?
Is a
So
dad
Dream
dating
Daddy
simulator.
is a dad dating simulator. Yeah, Sarah just told you.
Oh my gosh, why the heck am I not playing it?
It's amazing. You create a dad and you're a father in this game and you date the other hot dads that live in your neighborhood.
That sounds gay.
Yeah, it does, actually.
I'd totally be into that.
It's the most wholesome thing in the world and I love it.
That sounds like fun.
I love those moments of just like pure honesty.
There comes a point where we all know what someone's gonna say, so you might as well just say it.
Exactly. You know what they're thinking. It's like if you don't say it, then you're just lying to yourself.
Yeah. Cool. So Dream Daddy, anything else going on?
My mom came to visit this weekend in my new apartment and stuff, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, I got to hang out with her and her like friend from high school who lives near where I live, which is kind of nice. So it's like family friend nearby.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's mostly it. I've just been working, kind of hanging out.
Nice. What
Awesome
about
sauce.
what
Look at
about
us adults all working.
Paleo? What's new with you, brother?
You hatched
I'm-
real. Sorry.
I'm at Saber's house. I'm looking after his dog again.
The boy.
Maybe the last time this year. I don't know. I'm not sure what Saber has planned for the rest of the year. But we planned it since March. So
So at this point, it's like your
Well,
house.
Paleo. I can tell you that
Yeah.
he is thinking about going to New York at some point. And
Oh,
he and
yeah?
I are also thinking about going to New York again because he wants to go for some Federator thing, and he told me we would go see Hamilton this year, so I want to go at some point as well.
We're so rich.
And you are not-
Oh, New York.
It's because of all of his YouTube money.
Oh.
That was my Christmas gift.
Oh, that's a good Christmas gift.
Right?
The best Christmas gift are the ones that you say we'll probably do, and then
I mean,
But
that
do a
was
Broadway
what,
play? Hell,
6
man.
months ago?
Oh man. Oh, so cool, Paleo. So you're hanging out at Saber's house, and
yep.
nice. Obviously, part of a number of our recaps will be MSP, which we'll be talking about here very
Yeah.
soon. And then Gabe.
Ah!
What's new with you in the last 2 weeks besides us being able to understand you?
Well,
Oh
In-
God.
that time it was fake. That time, so I've had the most eventful 2 weeks of probably my entire life. It's been crazy. So
That's really eventful for you.
yes, so I was in Mississippi with my brother. We finished our album. It's all done. Like we're like we finalized everything. It was great. Right after that, I flew up to do MLP MSPF, which was awesome. It was so much fun. We all had a great time. And then I'm just like summarizing because there's a lot of like crazy stuff that happened during all this. Then
Love
I
the video released.
oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I wasn't sure how people would take that, but yeah, new music is always weird for when you haven't been doing it for a while. But I
It
think
looked
it's
fun.
it was very fun. That's how we're gonna do all of it, kind of like vlog style. But anyway, so then I flew to LA because I had a project down there, and that was really horrible because it was American Airlines and the flight was delayed, so I would have missed my connection. So then I had to buy like at the last minute a flight on a different airline that I'd never heard of before, which ended up being in a different terminal, and I almost missed it. Like
Ooh.
I had to go out of security. The subway going to the terminal was late. I was the last person on the plane, and they were about to close the gates. So, but I made it on. Then I stayed with the Corlets for a while, which was really fun. And Claire and I watched Ma, which was terrifying. And then while we were watching the movie, the power went out, and it was the weirdest, like craziest thing. Then right after that, I went to Steve Odekirk's house because I'm doing a super secret project with him, and I didn't know much about Steve. And I actually asked him, like, the projects under NDA, but I'm allowed to tell people I worked with him. I didn't really know who he was. I really only knew him from Kung Pao, because he's the one who made that. But I found out he's a screenwriter for Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, Ace Ventura, like Jimmy Neutron,
Patch
Barnyard,
Adams.
like Patch Adams. Yeah, that's him. He's the guy who wrote these movies. So I stayed at his house. Oh my gosh. Like, okay, I should say I stayed at his houses because he has multiple houses on his estate. And it was the stupidest, craziest, like 3 days of recording ever. And he is awesome. I freaking love him. Like, we became friends instantly. That was epic. And then, I flew to Mississippi and packed up Nathaniel's house. And we spent the last 3 days driving across America to Arizona. And we got in last night. And
So you
here
guys
I am
are done?
today in Tucson.
So Mississippi's no mas?
Mississippi is no more. We are going to Hawaii in a couple days. That's actually my Christmas present to the family. I'm taking the family to Alani, which I'm really looking forward to. I know you went
Gabe,
there
Why didn't we synchronize this?
because I didn't know when you guys were going.
Oh,
Because
We're a
Gabe
bunch of
wanted to go to
fools.
Everfree Northwest.
we're a bunch of damn fools.
But I heard you guys went, and that's awesome. I'd actually love to pick your brain a bit about it because we're really like super looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, that was my week, and there's a lot of other stuff that happened too. That's just like it's just too long of a story. But I had a really good last 2 weeks.
Nice. Awesome. Toodles. Sarah.
Yes.
What's your 2 weeks have had them in it? Brother?
I've played a lot of Breath of the Wilds on the Switch. Been really into that. And a private investigator came into my work
Oh my
office.
gosh!
Oh, okay.
What?
So this woman walks in and she asks us at the front desk, like, hey, I'm looking for this person. I know that they live here, but I only have, I don't know what their site number is and whatever. And so we couldn't, we have a policy where we can't really tell people, oh, here, there's their site number. So my coworker was like, well, I'll need to call her on the phone. And the woman, she's like, oh, no, you cannot give her any warning or she will, either leave the premises or, lock herself into her RV.
Well, in that case, come back with a warrant.
Yeah.
We'll talk then.
Well, no, but...
How would you know?
Yeah.
No, so...
Do
we referred
you
it
really
to our
want
manager.
the answer to that question?
But we referred it to our manager, and she was like explaining the situation where she was like tracking this person down to serve them papers of some sort. And so, our manager was like, okay, well, let's just, let's go. And they hopped on the golf cart and went to the site, and they served the papers, and that was it. But I was
You can
just
do
kind
that
of
as a
like,
manager.
Yeah.
Well, dang.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
Cool. So that's been excitement.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
My turn?
Yes, it's your turn.
All right, my turn, brother. So, yeah.
All right, that was good talk, Race. Thanks.
Thank you.
What's
thank
next?
you. MLP MSP was the probably the biggest thing in the last 2 weeks, and like we said, we'll get talking about that here. Actually, it'll probably be the next thing we discuss, and then we'll get into the episodes, just so we make sure that we can have a good, nice discussion about MLP MSP F. Oh, I meant to retweet that we were going to be talking about him. I'm going to do that right now. But other than that, kind of the theme for a lot of people has just been work. It's been very busy at work, but we're now starting to get into calmer waters as far as projects and whatnot. A lot of them are starting to wrap up, which is nice. And as we discussed, Sarah and I went to Disneyland over the weekend, and we saw the outskirts of Galaxy's Edge. We saw the edge of Galaxy's Edge.
We were there a day before it opened to the public.
That's cool.
But yeah, so we were taking advantage of the ghost town that Disneyland was that day.
It was magnificent. I haven't seen it that empty since the late 80s.
It was nice. And then
Wait, what? How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
42?
Yeah, yeah.
I should clarify. I remember this from a very young age.
You're
Wow.
Very
pretty.
good memory.
dang. So, but yeah, so did that. Of course, continuing working on, the racing stuff on the weekend and doing all that. Been doing a heck of a lot of editing though, because I have 2 convention promos, both conventions have already been announced. As far as BronyCon being one, and I'm going for the emotional one on this one, guys. So buckle up when I do this promo. Yeah. It's
Can't
just
do
gonna.
that to me.
It's literally just me crying with a whole bunch of eyeliner dripping down my face.
Uh-huh.
And
If
then,
anybody else did that, I wouldn't believe them.
and then the promo that I filmed this weekend was Alacon's promo video happening out in Adelaide, Australia.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. And so yeah, it's me putting on my best explorer, I guess.
Impression.
We're gonna get
impression.
going out to the outback and drop to
I'll
where
be-
drop.
I'll be
God.
I'll be 1,000,000% honest with you. I should probably put a disclaimer in there that I wasn't actively trying to do an Australian accent because I'm sure everyone's gonna assume that I was, and then in the process they're gonna ask me to actually not come to Alacon.
Crikey, mate. How good? How good?
Like, it was very much a British accent, but I yelled crikey a couple times. Crikey.
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 Yeah, go to Australia.
Crikey. Crikey. So, but yeah, and I hope that'll be entertaining. I always like doing kind of different things for promo videos, and this was definitely different. The thing I cracked up at myself was I don't plan a lot out. Like, I don't script promo videos typically, except for like, I want to mention this person or this person. It's all kind of improv-y, and including the fact that I decided what I was going to do. I think like once we got to the convention to the Disneyland park. So like I wasn't even dressed up for the role or anything. I'm like a regular Disneyland casual person
Wearing one of his Zootopia shirts.
in my Zootopia shirt, but I'm like, no, this is. So I totally don't fit the part, but here we go. Yeah. Nora says I should do a Leave Britney Alone video esque style.
Leave Britney alone, right? No.
Oh, and then Taylor saying that he got to hear Tom and I call the super late model race from Rivendell. So okay, so this will be kind of the wrap up on my story time. But for anyone that doesn't know, Tommy and I are the ones that do low budget TV and also the low budgets. So the low budgets, that series on my channel where we do demolition derbies and whatnot. But low budget TV is something we've been doing for years, and it continues to crack me up because we never got into doing low budget TV, which is our racing broadcasting. We never got into it with the intention, with the plan of doing this professionally. It was all just, hey, this is fun to do. We're going to do it. But people have enjoyed what Tommy and I do so much that now on channels like Mav TV, our voices are the ones calling some of the races that are showing up on cable television. And it's funny because we now have actually a series that's going to be coming to Mav TV, all about outlaw figure 8 racing, and it's our show. It's completely.
Awesome.
So it's so weird. It's so weird because I've been on TV so many times that I'm like, oh yeah, there I am again. Like it sounds stupid, but it's weird because like it started. I think the biggest one was going back to BronyCon 2014, the cosplay contest. Comic book men were there filming. And I was like, whoa, I'm on TV. Crazy. And then, of course, the Steve Harvey show was definitely next level on that front. And then now it's like, oh, now I do, announcing and broadcasting. It's just funny. It's just like, wow, you never know where life's going to take you sometimes. So, yeah. So that being said, speaking of life taking us places, a number of us here in the podcast were at MSPF. Minneapolis, Minnesota's convention, and the last one. Oh, actually, before I jump into that, sorry, Sarah. let me hop back a step. BronyCon. So, folks, once again, BronyCon has been super generous, and they have given community guests badges to give away. And so we have 2 badges for BronyCon. So it's a free 4-day badge. We're going to be doing 2 different raffles here today. And the way to collect your badge, you need to be present. You need to be here. That way we know that it's...
We'll need to see it. Like, if your name gets picked, we'll need to see you chime off in the chat being like, hey!
Chime off in the chat. So that way we just, it's a kind of an extra verification for us of, where these are going. But yeah, so in all terms of it, if you haven't yet put in your name and you'd like to, go to the Semi-Perfect Podcast Twitter. Sarah, I think you might be able to link this.
Yes.
So we'll link this, but if you can, go to the Semi-Perfect Podcast Twitter. Don't forget to hit like on the page or follow or whatever the heck Twitter does. Subscribe to our Twitter, and there's a form that you just, what do? You fill out.
It's a Google form. You'll need to put your username, either Twitter or Twitch or any social media that we can reach you by. And we do require an email because that's what we're going to send your code for your BronyCon badge.
Do we know how many people? Like, can you tell how many people have submitted? So it's going to be okay. So we've got names that are in there.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah. So for you. For all you folks trying to get them, good luck to each and every one of you. And like we said, we're going to be doing 2 of these giveaways. So there'll be 1 for one badge, 1 for the other badge. And yeah, good luck to each and every one of you.
Yeah.
We're excited about what's to come here in a couple of months. But first, we will discuss what happened 2 weeks ago, MLP MSPF. So, Paleo, you were there.
I was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was.
Gotcha. And
Yeah,
so was...
I got in with Saber.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yuck. But Gabe was also there.
Yes.
I was.
Gabe was there.
I was there. It was fun. We did stuff.
Yeah, we did lots of stuff.
We did so much stuff.
Claire just...
To each other.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
What were you gonna say, Gabe?
I was gonna say I had a great time, and I wanted to do I want to do it again. SaberSpark would be great, but I don't know that they're gonna want me because I was there last year with Michelle, so it's gonna be like. But if you guys go, I'm gonna do what I can.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Because the group together is just a freaking blast.
Well, there's such a dynamic that we have.
There is. Oh my gosh, the Who's Line and the panels are so much fun.
I love it, and it's always an honor jumping up on stage with you. When
Yes. Well, you guys pay me a lot to do that, so I'm not gonna say no.
It still feels like an honor, though.
Yeah.
I mean, for the small loan of.
It was worth those $3.75.
Yeah, well,
Wait, that's
they
all
bought
he
me a
charged
slushie.
you? What the heck?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Guys, look at Paleo. It basically pays just to have him on stage.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
He is the show. So I guess so. Of course, there is a vlog that's up. Has all of the panels that we were a part of. Has a whole bunch of the fun stuff that also took place around the convention grounds. Some of our exploring around MLP MSP. Saber, Paleo, and I were there as community guests. Gabe was there as a VIP. And
Everywhere he goes is a VIP.
It's like at my wedding. He's walking around going, "Where's the green room?"
Yeah, I want to get a snack, you guys. Where's the green room?
I got that reference.
Yes, you did.
So amongst the things that weren't captured in the vlog, one of the biggest things for me was my adventure getting to the airport to get to MLP MSP. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
So the traffic to LAX, something must have happened, unless it's just LAX being crap.
LAX.
Yeah. Because according to our phone GPS, it said it was going to take us 45 minutes to get 3 blocks. And at that point, I'm like, well, now I'm going to be late for my flight.
Yeah.
Or if assuming that security's bad and all that. So I asked her to look up how long it would take to walk, because I'm driving, Sarah's riding passenger, and she was basically dropping me off. It was shorter to walk, so I'm like, well, okay, see you later. So I jump out of the car and I'm walking, but unfortunately along the way the sidewalk went away, and upon stepping onto the asphalt road, I also missed my step, and my 80-pound backpack started going over my head, and at that point I was just somersaulting on the road.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was not pretty, but yeah. So that was fun. Are you laughing?
I can't believe you just left Sarah to sit in traffic.
And she never got into the driver's seat. That was the best part. She just sat there in the passenger seat with her car sitting in traffic for a couple hours. But yeah, so as far as the convention goes, really good time. Paleo, I wanna hear from you. What you thought of MLP, MSP, and maybe some highlights or whatnot.
Yeah, it was really fun. I got to meet some old friends there and new friends. I met Crazy Kari, who's in the chat. She was there. I met up with her. Let's see, because I know we went to dinner a few times, and we went to that park.
Yes,
That park was fun.
it was a nice park. You would have liked it, Sarah.
What kind of park?
Oh, I know. You and Laura would have loved this park because there were dogs everywhere.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and then we, like you mentioned, Buca de Beppo one day where we all ate. You went to the mall, right?
Yeah. Me and Kari got an Uber and went around the mall. Though we got there pretty late, so we were around there for like maybe an hour and a half, just looking around stuff. Because everything at the mall closes at like 9:30, so yeah, we didn't have much time, but it was fun going around there.
Nice. What about
Thank you.
what about Gabe?
What?
Highlights, thoughts of MLP, MSP? Any kind of side notes that you have from it?
I like smaller, like I love big conventions because it's insane, it's crazy, it's a rush, but it's also super super busy. I really the thing I love the most about Ciderfest was just how relaxed it was. I got to talk with a lot of people for long periods of time. I didn't feel like I had to, rush through, lines or anything like that. The concert was really intimate. The panels were so much fun. The Pictionary panel was freaking hilarious. Way, totally awesome. I did a escape room with Andrea and a bunch of the sponsors in the one morning, and I was not feeling it when I walked in, but it was a total blast. It was just, there was a lot that was really, really great about that convention. And I just had time, I didn't bring merch. I didn't bring, I didn't have a table in the vendor hall. No plans to do that. I just had time to enjoy the convention. I did do something I've never done at a convention before that I'm not quite sure how I feel about it. Courtesy of you, Jeff. I mean, Race. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to use your superhero.
I was trying to think of what you were referring to for a second, but now I know.
Yeah, I went to there was an After Dark vendor hall, and I'd never even heard of something like that, but I know they did it at another convention. And then you're like, you made a good point, and your point was, when are you gonna get to experience this like any other time? And I was like, yeah, I probably should, just at it. man, that was weird.
To me, I love them because they crack me up. Like, I'm just like, my god.
No, they're hilarious, and they had the awkward Silver Quill riffing on the whole thing the whole time. And
that was brilliant. Yeah, they had some people just kind of doing live commentary of people walking around looking at.
As soon as I walk in, they're like, "Oh, hey, so how would a griffin be in bed? I mean, wouldn't it be dangerous with the beak and the talons?" And it's like, what could and they went into a lot more detail than that, of course.
Yeah.
Of
Asking,
course.
throwing, suggestions for maybe possible answers for me, and I pretended to not hear them, but I heard them.
Every single one.
One of the vendors is like, "Blood Griffin, I didn't know you were into this stuff." I'm like, I'm not.
I mean, I am, but I'm not.
Curious.
As
Curious, okay?
Gabe's walking around holding all the merch he just bought in the last 3 minutes, and he's like,
I bought these for friends.
This is
holding Race's hand.
This is for my parents. So
Grandma, she really likes this.
I bought a couple of things.
Grandma likes
did.
donuts.
I didn't. they didn't.
Wow.
They just don't make them like this anymore.
They didn't. There was a severe lack of Judy Hopps in both
Yeah, there's
vendor
a lot of Nick
halls.
Wild though.
A lot of Nick. There's too much Nick. I like Nick, but seriously.
Yeah, but I just don't get where people like vendors, guys. If you're gonna
No,
make
no, it's furries.
if you're gonna make one, why wouldn't you make the other? Sarah, you're an artist. Explain this to me.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
It's furries.
You agree with me?
Well, Nick is a dog. I'm
They're
sorry,
the
or
main
fox. But I
characters.
mean, they're in. You know, foxes are sexy. People like foxes.
So are
I
rabbits.
feel
that
like
found
taking the
out.
time to make a Judy
I
Ducky
found
would up your sales. Because there's
Speaking of
gonna be
foxes,
somebody.
I got to spend time with a fox 2 weeks ago. It was so cute, and now I want a fox.
I want to hear more about this whole fox thing because I know we've discussed it, but I'm still trying to get over the fact that Sarah's actually on my side about the Judy docu right now. Thank you, Sarah.
Just saying.
Does that mean that we can help them stay in business when they make that docu?
Maybe.
She's in baby.
I love how that's like all the confirmation Jeff needs.
Pretty much.
She didn't say no. That means we won't get into that topic. But yeah, no, it was a great convention.
It was.
What's interesting, I don't know if a lot of people realize this, because I know that the big conversation piece, especially this year because the show's ending and BronyCon's coming to an end, and technically MLP MSP ended, but you know it also came back to end, which was like
Resurrected, yeah.
I think a cool gesture, by the way, by Charlie and his team,
Oh, yeah.
because
Oh, they're awesome.
they really are, and they do such a good job with these conventions, and the fact that they said, you know what, we have the resources to make this happen one more time. I think it's cool, and this is the big thing for me, and I think it went overlooked that MLP MSP last happened in 2016 at the same venue that MLP MSPF, the one we just did, 2019's version, was at. So same location, but this year's convention, MLP MSPF, had a higher attendance than MLP MSP 2016 did. So just think about that. The convention actually grew in size.
Okay, no, it's not even it's a point for me, because the thing is, everybody that I've talked to, every brony that I've talked to, intends to watch the new generation when it comes out, or at least give it a chance. So for me, I think it's silly for anybody to assume that the fandom's going to end because the show does. I mean, the fandom ends when people stop caring about it, and I haven't really sensed that. So I don't know.
There you go.
It seems like a big deal, you know, or it is a big deal. It's sad to see it end, but at the same time, this whole fandom was able to embrace Equestria girls, and that's, you know, way out there. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. I don't see it ending.
I agree. I think things will be okay. Like, you know, I think a lot of people, because we've had this question, Gabe, you've probably gotten this question. I know Saber and I have on some panels that we've been on where, you know, people ask, they're like, so when the show ends, what are you guys gonna do? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'll keep doing stuff. Like, I'm not just gonna drop everything and be like, all right, all done. You know, I still feel like there's a lot to do with the current content that's out there. But yeah, no, I mean, the conventions that we have out there right now, I feel good about. I'm not saying that we'll always have as many as we have this year. Obviously, 2 of them are going away, MSP and BronyCon, but yeah, no, I was curious about MSP's attendance because BronyCon, I feel like, might be pulling some people from other conventions. Just because, again, it's the last year for BronyCon. Anyone that budgets for one convention, this is the year they're going to say, okay, I will budget for BronyCon, and then I'll be back at this convention next year if they're having it. And most of the conventions actually, while have been slightly down on some of their attendance, and like I said, I attribute some of that to BronyCon, because there's going to be a lot of people at BronyCon.
Yeah.
I was impressed to see MLP MSPF actually rise in attendance. So that was, again, great work by
It's because
everyone.
you were there.
It's because I was there. Whoa. So yeah, no, it was great, and Gabe, love that you were there.
Oh, me too. It was
You
so
know,
much fun.
yeah.
Oh, that reminds me about attendance. Something that Jax told me. I was like, what?
I was getting
Man,
to this
yeah,
part,
man, yeah.
by the way, but go on. Yes. What about that?
So, yeah. We were going up to the escalator going to the convention. He says, so how many people you think are here? Like 100? I'm like, 100? Like, have you...
I will say,
I don't think you can accurately, like...
Surmise if
Te-
it's above
yeah.
5, it could be between 100 and a million.
Because I said if it was 100, it would be a lot more empty.
yeah.
Well, just count. I mean, this is what I do. I count the chairs vertically and then laterally, and then apply. It's a really good, quick, easy way.
So if anyone wonders what Gabe's doing on a panel, he's not actually thinking about your questions. He's counting the chairs.
Oh, yeah. Isn't everybody?
But Paleo brought up a great point. Jaxblade. That guy got me good. In fact, I think he got all of us good. Paleo, when did you find out Jax was there?
It was when Saber and I got in to the hotel, and we were greeting Sydney and Kari in the lobby, and then Jax just comes up and bumps into Saber. And then I look back and I'm like, Jax?
So were you the
Yeah.
first one to recognize him?
Yeah, like when me and Saber got in, like
Yeah.
I recognized them, but then it took Saber a minute. It was like, what?
God, yeah. So, and then Gabe, when did you find out Jax was there?
I came into your guys' room because I thought I was rooming with you, but then I wasn't. But then I came into your room anyway, and you offered me some pizza, which was very kind and delicious.
Yeah.
And then I didn't get to really enjoy. I actually almost inhaled it because Jax comes up from behind the bed. I didn't even hear what he said.
Wait, he was hiding when you got in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He was, and then he told me how he was going to get you, which is another story entirely.
Yeah. So everybody, I guess, was in on this except me, obviously. Brony's React panel was the first panel that we did. It was noon on Friday. And I'm setting up my cameras, and I see some guy wearing his Spider-Man outfit and mask and all. And, of course, I think nothing of it because I've been to enough of these conventions that kind of thing just doesn't faze me. I'm like, cool, cosplayers. Awesome. And I even nodded at Jax, I think. Like, kind of like a smile and nod. And I'm setting things up. And I do vividly remember seeing Gabe take a picture of the Spider-Man costume person. Not realizing there was a reason that he was taking this picture while I was setting up my camera right next to Jaxblade.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, oh, Gabe must just be enjoying that there's a Spider-Man in the audience like I am. So we start the panel, and I think it was Saber or somebody started, like, maybe it was you, Gabe. Somebody was starting to say, like, oh yeah, there might be other people in the audience who were in Brony's React, which I also didn't think too much into because I knew people like Jay Holler, who's been in a Brony's React, was in the audience, and so I was like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, let's acknowledge them. And then some individual, oh look, it's the Spider-Man person, jumps up on stage. And I'm just like, well, it's going to be one of these panels, I guess. and Jax goes to take off his mask, and I saw, like, I saw his chin, and was like, I still wasn't thinking anything of it. I was just like, all right, there's someone up here. And then the mask comes off, and there's Jaxblade with that big old goofy grin of his. And I'm just confused because I literally, like, I'm sitting there going, oh my God, did I forget that Jaxblade was going to be here?
Oops.
Yeah, I was like, that's terrible of me. Like, I didn't even think. And then it becomes clear to me the way everyone's responding to the situation that no, it is a surprise that Jaxblade was here. And I loved it. I was like, that's my kind of prank right there. Those are the kind of pranks I live for. And the fact that Jax pulled his off so well by not telling anybody except I think Jay Holler that he was going to be there so he could set things up. It was brilliant. It was wonderfully played by Jax Blade. So
very well
love
done.
it. It was so great. Definitely, like, I kid you not, that was a highlight of my convention was Jax pulling that on us. Because Jax is a very fun individual. If you've never had a chance to meet him, he's so lively. He's so full of life and full of energy, and just really a great guy. Seriously,
He's a walking party.
He is. But yeah, so I mean, to round it up, MLP MSPF, a fantastic send off. Minneapolis, this convention MSP has really meant a lot to us. It's a convention again, 2014 with Saber, Henry, Gabe, and I doing Whose Line by ourselves for the first time, and you know that it just was so. It was so cool to be able to put all that together. I'm trying to remember. Paleo, were you the host that year in 2014?
I don't think so. I think Draft was.
Was Draft the host? Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I'm like, what did we do for that one? But yeah.
I know in 2016, that's when I joined Draft.
That's right. And Garnica was on stage with us for that one. So yeah. It was great. It was so much fun. The people that were there were fantastic. I know there's a number of people in the chat that joined us that were, or I should say, we're at MLP MSP, and yeah. So much fun. Loved the send off and made some excellent memories over the weekend. What do you think of that, Sarah?
Sounds like a fun time.
So it was a fun time. Sarah, should we remind people again that the BronyCon raffle's happening?
Yes, it's happening. Check out the Semi-Perfect Podcast Twitter. I retweeted all the information that you would need to know. It's a Google form that you'll have to submit your username and your email.
Yep.
Let me just find the link to that one more time so I can put it in the chat.
I sprung this one on the Sarah.
When are we announcing those? What do you think?
We'll do those before Q&A.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's see. We're gonna be discussing the MLP episodes. We got some potential movie talk. Oh my God, we should talk about Godzilla while Saber's not here.
Yeah, I feel like the only ones we can really talk about are Aladdin and Men in Black. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll definitely look into both of those.
Okay. Well, if we have time, it's already 7 o'clock.
7:06.
What?
Yeah. All right. So let's. So we're gonna be talking about the new My Little Pony episodes. So if you have not watched them, there will be a spoiler screen, like so.
And the spoiler screen will stay up as long as we're discussing them. When the screen goes away, it is safe to unmute the
And
screen.
guys, this
Yeah.
is actually probably a good. So I haven't seen it yet, but my family is screaming at me because we're all gonna go out to eat.
Where?
So I have to
Where
go.
are you eating?
Culver's.
Oh my God!
Culver's?
Culver's?
Yeah, there's a new
Where's
one. I've not had it in years, but there's a new one here. They just
Tommy and
built
I
it, so-
went when we went to Idaho
Mm-hmm.
recently. Tommy and I saw that there was a Culver's and went, "Hey, let's eat there." Because
Dude. Yeah, it's good
call
stuff.
it ice cream. When you get it, call it ice cream. They hate that.
Yeah, they're gonna love that. They won't be pissed at all.
Culver's is like a fast food. I thought it was more of like a Milwaukee area.
It's classy fast food. Yeah, it is. That's why it surprised me. It's very Midwestern, but here it is. Here we are in the South.
All right,
Miracles do come true.
drink
Dreams
their
do
root beer.
happen. I will drink it all.
All right. Well, Gabe, you have a wonderful time eating Culver's.
I love you all so hard, and I'll miss you, and I hopefully just talk to you all soon.
All right, Gabe. Bye.
Goodbye.
So for those that don't know, Culver's again is a fast food restaurant where it's a what do they call them? Butter burgers is what they have. So it's a burger joint, but they also have like really good frozen or is it? I don't even know if they call it frozen, but it's frozen custard.
Uh-huh.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh God, now I'm wondering if I'm screwing this up.
That's probably right.
I don't know. I just know I called it ice cream once, and everyone got mad.
It's
I like how people that left for the spoilers right now have no idea why everyone's talking about Culver's. But
Yeah.
all right, so MLP MSP. Let me try that again. My Little Pony episode time.
Yeah. Alright, so the first episode we're talking about today is called The Last Crusade. And in this episode, unexpected visitors to Ponyville threaten to break up the Cutie Mark Crusaders forever.
Forever. All right. Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Who's got opinions on this one?
I have one thing to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like this episode would have felt more organic if it had come like shortly after the CMCs got their cutie marks.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, it kind of just feels like, no, Scootaloo has parents. She's not an orphan. See, look at her parents and her aunts, and
yeah,
They just forgot she was a character
yeah.
for like 4
Because
seasons.
if it had happened like shortly after they got their cutie marks, and it was like, "Hey, mom and dad, no, I can't leave," and you've been established as characters up to this point, before the last season of the show.
Yeah.
And I can give you a reason why I have to stay in Ponyville, because I have all this work ahead of me, and that would make sense.
Yeah, definitely. It's just kind of like, okay, I guess we're doing this one now. And like, it's...
Yeah.
I was actually... So, I watched this episode for the first time last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually kind of disappointed when Scootaloo announced that her parents were coming to town. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was disappointed when she
great,
said,
you have parents.
"We're at my house." I was like, "You don't have a house."
Yeah.
Right. So, I got a lot of issues with this episode, actually.
Oh?
Yeah. I feel like I'm struggling to figure out exactly what lesson this was trying to teach, because I was thinking, like, it's the last season. Maybe they will go all out with this one and have kind of the I guess you could kind of compare it to like Inside Out situation where someone's got to move and coping with saying goodbye to your friends, but also realizing that it's not truly 100% goodbye.
But no, kids, if you don't like that your parents are moving, you can just live by yourself.
I was
an
like,
8-year-old in your own house.
this was so unrealistic to me. Like what parent says, you know what, 10-year-old daughter, you're right. You can stay here. We don't need to be a family. Like,
I feel like it would have been better if it had already been established that Sweetie Belle lived with her aunts, but like they left
You
like
mean
at the
Scootaloo?
beginning. Yeah, sorry. Scootaloo's
Claire's over there
like,
going, what?
I thought that was going to be the thing where she like actually lived with her aunts in Ponyville. But then they left at the beginning of the episode.
Which
and I'm just
confused me.
Wait, what?
I
She
didn't
lives
understand.
by herself?
Well, I like how they're like, yeah, we have this complicated thing set up where, so on Wednesday through Friday, Rainbow Dash will be sitting you, and then on Saturday and Sunday, Rarity will come by, and then the ants will be back Monday up to Wednesday. I'm like, what is this?
Because your parents are dead. I mean, traveling across Equestria.
Yeah,
But-
they're
but,
they're
like,
the Thornberry
is it-
parents.
Is it just me? Like, I thought that this was so unrealistic. That
Yeah.
the resolution was the parents saying, "Oh, okay, that's fine. You can stay here."
I think, like, the weird thing, or, like, the I don't want to say loophole about that is, like, they've addressed that, like, the Cutie Mark Crusaders are kind of, like, aging as the show goes on. Like, they had the whole one where, like, Sweetie Belle's like, "Oh, I'm not a kid anymore," and Rarity's treating me like a kid, whatever. But it's, like, they still look really tiny.
Yeah.
And they still go to, like, Shirley's one-room schoolhouse where, like,
Preschool.
everyone's in kindergarten. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't really know
Yeah.
what's happening.
Maybe, make some more models in which they look older, maybe.
We can't do that. We need to make more toys.
It's just so, like, because I do feel like,
I've been on mute.
oh, yes, you have.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were gonna say anything.
Hero, what are your thoughts on this episode before I go?
I think I agree with you. That's unrealistic. The parents are like, well, what are we gonna do, Bonnie? I guess we gotta go leave our child here in Ponyville. She said she wants to be here. So what can we do as parents? I think the one reason I was like, okay, I'll let that slide is because they made it seem like the Kinema Crusaders, like, they have a job. They're like required there, and they're like, dang, we can't just take that away because we want our family, question mark. Like, it's so weird. But I think that's the one reason I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
She's got to do work.
See, here's the thing though, and don't get me wrong, I've found it very endearing what the Cutie Mark Crusaders have done and become.
Yeah.
But it still feels like it's like an after school club to me. Not like oh, this is my career. I have to do this. Like it's weird that I feel like the show was trying to convince me on this episode like no, seriously. Imagine if the Cutie Mark Crusaders weren't around. What will happen then? It's like, well,
people would continue getting the cutie marks like how they always have.
Yeah, like they have forever, and that's why I'm like, like I see them.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I see them like as a counseling group maybe that help ponies realize they have the potential. But what were you gonna say, Laura?
It was just more that like it seems like they're in this weird like place where the show isn't sure if they're children or if they're adults, and like where to put them and like how to like utilize them, because like when Scootaloo's telling her parents
mean
like,
like
oh no, I need
teenagers.
to stay because it's my job, it's like oh okay, that's because you're an adult and you have responsibilities, versus like no, I'm just dicking around doing everything possible to get
I just want to
cutie
hang
mark
out with my
friends after
friends.
school. Yeah. And we're going to school every day to learn how to count or whatever. Like, I don't know what they do.
What age are you?
I wouldn't.
I have no idea what age they are.
I mean,
I
I
just know
get.
that Cheerly was like really traumatized by that weird gator that got
Oh
into
my
the...
god, yes. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, actually.
Because like her parents are just like, hey, you know, it'd be really cool if like we released this like wild animal in the classroom and endangered the lives of the students to make a really sweet entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Her
probably.
parents are
my-
pretty irresponsible in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Very many ways, yes.
It's I just I guess I just thought for a second that I knew where this episode was going, and which again was me thinking that it was going to be an episode which I was going to be impressed that they do it in 30 minutes, but it was essentially going to be Scootaloo leaving Ponyville, and I'm like, that's huge. That's a big lesson. Kids, that happens to kids all the time.
Yeah.
Where a kid has friends and parents got to move, and guess what? Sorry, you can't stay. You know, and I was like, wow, this is a huge topic that they're gonna do, and you know, I really didn't think the parents were gonna budge, and then they did, and I was like, what?
That don't happen.
Yeah, I feel like this episode had to me.
It's a lie.
But then it would have been really dark for kids.
Yeah, but it's like
Welcome
real-
to life.
it's reality.
I don't
Suicide
know.
episode. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if it'd even
But
be dark.
that'll go over kids' heads, I would think. Some kids, like depending on their age.
It's just
Yeah,
But
probably true.
very on the nose.
I feel like while it would be dark for kids, it's something that, you know, especially if
You
there's,
know.
because there could be kids watching that, you know, they know that they're going to be moving in 3 months, and they know they're going to be leaving their friends behind, and it's like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you know, maybe this is a lesson for them to. What is that
No,
noise?
it's true, because like kids move all the time.
Oh, sorry. I was just playing with Saber's chair here. It
Oh,
makes
it's
a
fine.
squeak.
I was like, is that the cat? But go on, Laura. What were you saying?
I don't know.
The damn
No,
noise.
genuinely, like, what was I gonna say? Like, kids move all the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that's an important thing to like understand, that like even though you move away, you don't have to like renounce your friends and like give up your whole life. It's like, no, it's like, you know, when you're a little kid, you kind of just have to do what your family does, and what happens.
I may
That's
be
how it
looking.
works.
I may be looking too far into this, but I almost feel like this episode could be discouraging the kids that need to move.
Yeah.
Because they're like, like, doesn't it kind of like encourage children to be like,
Yep.
if I try hard enough, my parents won't make us move.
Well, Scootaloo got to stay in Ponyville, Mom.
Yeah, Mom. Jeez, Mom.
That's nice, Amanda.
It's good to see you for the first time in 9 years, Mom. Jesus.
Whoa! Oh my God! If a kid like threw that kind of shade at him.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the different situation that Scootaloo's in, is that her parents were never there in the first place. Like, it's not going to be like the same situation for a kid where their parents are moving and they've been with their parents for their whole lives.
I feel like that's you thinking with your 30-year-old brain. I think kids are just gonna see Scootaloo didn't have to move. I don't want to move.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Paleo. That like essentially they're just saying, well, it's been working, so we'll just keep it this way. But yeah, like that's I'll leave it at that for me. Like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Even if it's your broken family. Okay.
I'll just say it. Scootaloo's aunts are better parents to her than her parents, so
Yeah.
why not just let them be her parents anyway?
I'm sorry. Okay. I have to because I noticed it. Like the first thing I noticed. Call me whatever you care. I don't care. Auntie Lofty and Aunt Holiday. Why is Aunt Holiday so thick? Like she's a. I was like, damn, girl.
damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, didn't the ants end up wanting to move to Ponyville? Right?
Yeah.
At the end? Okay.
Yeah, which wasn't that like after
Now
Scootaloo
we'll-
already?
yeah.
Like
Now
all this
we'll
work.
supervise Scootaloo.
I thought they already lived there.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
I
it was
thought
so
so, and then they
weird.
went back to their house and wherever the
Why
fuck.
didn't they just live there? Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Freaking.
They just like buy Scootaloo's parents' house and be like, oh yeah, it's fine, don't move your shit. Like, we live here now.
Lesbians, am I right?
I'm
Oh,
glad that
I'm
they.
gonna keep
tell
picture
you.
of them.
I like that they brought over the same ants that were in the book previously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I appreciate that too.
Yep. So these were pre-existing characters.
Only true nerds will know.
Yes.
And I think I forget if I had discussed it with you, Sarah. No, we hadn't discussed this episode, but I liked how they did this. It wasn't in your face. It was just normal.
Yeah.
It was just, yep, these are my aunts.
Yep.
You know, and I feel like that kind of stuff with media is what normalizes it
Yeah.
for
Oh,
society in general. Yeah.
there's
Peter?
another thing.
Yeah.
Some people, I'm not going to name who, but people I know, and I just assumed they were lesbians. I don't know why, but then other people assumed they were like the aunts in Sabrina a Teenage Witch, where they were just aunts that lived together.
They
Yeah.
could be sisters.
They aren't though.
Why?
I
Is that
assumed
safe?
that they were
Like, and-
lesbians because everyone who worked on the comics and the show said that they were lesbians.
That's true.
And also,
Yeah.
they were
They
making
told me.
gestures at like the end of the episode that probably indicate more of like a romantic relationship.
I
than
know.
a
I
sisterly...
couldn't believe that they could do that with their hooves.
Stop.
Are you trying to tell me that you couldn't think that they could do like sexual advances with their hooves when you've been watching 9 seasons of this show with like so much goddamn shipping?
I've learned so much in the 9 years about how horses work
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and how they
They're
don't.
horses?
Ponies.
Can I,
I don't know. Some of the
Can I
animation I
say
see
a
leads me
little-
to not believe they're horses.
can I have a little story?
Yeah.
So one of my friends, one of my best friends growing up, she had 2 aunts that were a couple, and it literally took me the longest time to figure out that they were actually like a lesbian couple. But what makes it even funnier is like my little like 10-year-old self in their house was looking at pictures, like they had pictures of naked women hanging on their walls. And I'm like, what an
Grandparents did that.
interesting,
It's so weird.
what an interesting thing to have on your wall. And I'm just like, huh. And then like a few years
So they were like
later-
super lesbians.
yeah. I
They
mean,
were like
did
they
have-
were like we need to have naked women everywhere.
I don't
wasn't
know.
everywhere.
If you have
There were
a
some
naked
sprinkles.
woman on your
There were just some images sprinkled, and since I'm a nosy person, I like to look at all the art and stuff in people's houses, and there's like this it was a photograph of like a line of naked women just kind of like standing all coolly together, and I'm like, huh, okay, cool. And then years later I'm like, a doi.
I'm just going to assert that being lesbian has nothing to do with having naked women art in your
Oh,
house.
I know, but like,
Trust me,
Very heterosexual grandparents had like this statue, like some weird art statue that I never understood because I was like a kid, of this woman like leaning back, and she had like super long hair and like her boobs were just hanging out. I'm like, I don't get it because I'm a child. Now I'm like, oh, that's what that was.
I absolutely understand it, but I feel like some dots were lined up for me where I'm like, oh, so that's why they had like all these pictures of I don't know.
Were they artistic nudes or were they like full on leg spreads?
No, artistic.
Oh, that would have been better.
Yeah. But it was like, oh, okay.
Well, we sure got our fill of that episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
Good news. There was another one.
Yeah.
All right. Another one.
I'm so excited about.
This one, I have opinions on this one too. Between Dark and Dawn.
In this episode,
I loved it.
Celestian.
Calm down, everybody.
Take a bucket list sister vacation while Twilight and her friends struggle to cover the princess's many royal duties alone.
Okay, Laura, go.
I loved it. It was so much fun. It was the everyday doing normal shit Luna and Celestia episode that I've been waiting for 9 years. And it was fun.
You got to see Luna male.
Oh my god, Luna's like bun and Celestia's ponytail and their dumb little Hawaiian shirts. I was losing it. It was so great.
I loved Luna and Celestia, but I hated what the main six were doing because they were a bunch of dumbasses.
Oh yeah, they were being so stupid. But like, ignore that shit because that doesn't matter.
I appreciate.
Twilight's just like, help. Fuck you. I'm gonna do my own thing.
I do appreciate that every other person in the main six was looking at Twilight like, you suck. Like Applejack had quite the face for her, and deservedly so.
Like,
Where's Starlight to knock some sense into her?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Twilight literally went through the premiere episode, where she's like, oh, I guess part of, being a leader is knowing when to ask for help.
It's amazing how quickly we forget.
Just once and
Oh my god.
Hello.
Hey,
It's SaberSpark.
Saber.
Whoa, who's
Hey.
It's
Howdy,
me.
stranger.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Hello.
We were
You
just
all right?
talking about actually we're in the
actually.
middle of talking about the episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually watched them, so I know what you're talking about.
Well, let's pause for a second here and just tell me your thoughts on the Scootaloo parent aunt episode.
It was interesting, but let me actually, before I say that, I bought some T-shirts for BronyCon, and I bought one for Tommy Oliver. So I went on this website, and I'm like, I just want to look for the ugliest pony shirts possible. That's all I want. And there was this one with Doom Guy and like the Doom logo, but instead it says Scootaloo in like big caps, and they recolor the Doom Guy to look like Scootaloo, and it looks so stupid, and I love it. So of course I bought that for Tom. But
I swear
So
to
the
God,
episode-
Stephen Carver, if you didn't buy me an ugly pony shirt, I'm gonna be very upset.
I got one for you. You're gonna like it, all right? But I'm going all out for BronyCon. So the episode, I have a grudge, or I'm disappointing Scootaloo's parents because there's some times in cartoons where like events transpire, and it's like this could have been avoided if people just talked. Which I know that's kind of the
That's most
idea.
of the episode.
Yeah, that's the story. That's what they're going for. We should communicate, which is a good, But like, for the parents just to show up out of nowhere, a bunch of vagabonds, and then they're like, "We're gonna move you out without even talking to you." I'm like, really? That's kind of douchey. And I mean, I appreciate Scootaloo's aunts for being understanding and having her back, and the CMC sticking together. But I mean, it was all right. But then the episode that came afterwards blew it out of the water like tenfold.
So that's the episode that we're discussing now. Quick question for you: how long are you going to be able to join us? Are you just going to be on
I'm
for a
walking.
couple?
I can talk for a little bit. I just finished talking to the family. I'm going back to my room, so I can hang out for a bit and talk
Okay.
with you guys.
Only reason I ask is because I know we're getting a slight echo from you. So I was going to say just whenever.
Oh, I can turn things down a bit, or let me get my headphones. I have headphones I can
Okay.
plug in and see if that helps out.
Cool. Perfect.
By the way, I was going to tell. I told Laura this via text, but I saw nature in action today. Sarah, you're going to like this. Well, maybe you like it. I don't know. I'll explain why. So
we've already talked about the After Dark panel, Saber.
Here, let me get my headphones on first before I keep talking.
Okay.
1 second.
All right. Okay, I was just doing a quick check. So, so SaberSpark joining us here with the story. Sounds like he's got his headphones.
Do I sound any better?
Check. I still hear
Mike,
myself.
check. How can you hear yourself? That's so bizarre. I have headphones on.
Check.
Yeah, I heard that.
Is it coming from someone else?
Is it
Might
me?
be.
You know, I didn't even look.
No, it's coming from Saber.
Check.
Yeah, just leave and come back. Like, leave Discord entirely. Close it.
Wow, Hero's mean.
Just go.
Can't you see we don't want you anymore? So we're just sorting out this. Now the suspense is really building. We already have two people that have expressed love for this episode of Between Dark and Dawn. So while Saber's taking care of this, we'll have him come back to a story. But so yeah, I'm curious to hear other people's thoughts on Between Dark and Dawn, the episode with Luna and Celestia being sisters and going on a vacation.
Wait, who said they loved it so far?
Me.
Laura and Saber said that
And
this.
me.
You?
It's my favorite episode of this season, easily.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sarah, what do you think of it?
It was a fun episode.
All right. You want to do a mic check?
Check. I
Okay.
still hear myself loud and clear.
That's weird.
Try it again.
Check.
There you go.
That worked.
Huh, that's so weird that y'all can hear yourselves like that. Here, do one more.
Check. Nothing.
We're good.
All right, cool.
Hey, Saber, clap for us.
Hey, clap. There we go.
Thank you.
No, he said clop for us.
Clop. Okay.
Hold on. I need a few
Done.
minutes.
So yeah, Saber, we're discussing Between Dark and Dawn, and then we're gonna come back to your nature story that you have.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So you liked the episode, Hirosashi. You were just saying you really liked this episode.
Yeah.
So
And
good.
Laura, of course, said she liked it. Sarah, you said you had fun with it. Paleo, what did you think of this episode?
Oh, I really liked it. It was fun.
I had fun with this episode too. But there is a but from me.
Yeah.
I feel like Luna and Celestia, I don't know. I feel like
The sister arguing thing is a little tired.
Luna and Celestia can't just have fun as sisters. They always have to get in a fight over stuff. And I'm like, guys, sisters don't always fight, I think. Maybe someone knows better than me. I don't know. Sarah, you have a sister.
Yeah, I don't fight with. I used to when we were kids, but not as adults. We're able to, talk things out.
It's all that.
I'm willing to give them this though, because you have to understand that this is a new arena for them. So maybe that's why they're fighting. Now, if it was in the throne room, it's like, come on, we've done this. But this is them like letting their hair down by them putting their hair up. By the way, the designs I adored. When Laura and I watched it, we were squeeing. We're like, ah, like. No, Luna, I think the cutest part of the episode, I actually like, it melted my heart, is when Luna was like, I bought us matching T-shirts, and she like, I'm so glad they put this in the show, but she was like, huh, huh, and she was like stomping in place out of excitement like a nerd. And,
Oh, it was so cute, right?
Literally
I love it.
everything Luna does in this episode just makes me so goddamn happy.
Yeah, it's great, and Celestia's got so much more personality. Because Paleo and I, a few days ago, we were watching like the top 10 pony videos of like 2014, and there's two versions of Celestia that we always see, it's either deep brooding, I am Celestia and I will fight you, sister, or I'll fight this villain. I'm super serious, the whatever. Or hey, I'm Banana Celestia. I'm gonna fuck a banana or whatever. But yeah,
Excuse me?
you know what I'm talking. No, but essentially, silly Celestia or deep brooding Celestia. And this current Celestia in the episode was great because she's like, having fun. She hasn't forgotten all of her royal duties. But I enjoyed it. I hear you, Sarah and Race, on the them fighting, but at the same time, I still see their relationship budding in the last season, and right on time. But yeah, all in all, I thought it was great. The song was great. B plot was pretty funny with the fancy pants being like, "You guys stupid! Like we were hired for this." Like, please.
See, when I saw Fancy Pants getting mad, I was like, "Oh no, you like this chill, bro." And then I was like, "Wait, no, I completely understand why you'd be getting frustrated at this point."
Yeah, dude, I'd be upset too. But no, the clear winners were like Celestia and Luna's outfits, and them singing a song, and then being cute as hell. I loved it. This is one of my favorite episodes.
I just love that the fancy pants, continuing on that. It's like he's basically telling them, you guys, you already know that Celestia doesn't do anything. What makes you think she did this?
Yeah,
that was funny. This is the. Go ahead.
The best part of the episode was the ending, with them watching the.
She was just glad it was over.
Oh yeah.
No.
I like how they ended it. Actually,
Yeah.
that was
a good
one thing.
ending.
Yeah, because the way there wasn't the resolution of all right, let's go help Twilight. Or okay, they were going to help Twilight, but there wasn't the resolution of them helping Twilight. They left it at, and Twilight's having
Her breakdown.
her breakdown. Good night, everybody.
Does anybody have tape?
I love that bit where she's like, "Oh, Celestia doesn't do it all by herself. Of course she doesn't. I've gotta delegate." I was just like, "How to YouTube 101."
So this is how you rule Equestria.
Yeah.
I do gotta. I just want to say it again. That Rainbow Dash. Okay, I do appreciate when she's brash and she just speaks her mind.
Yeah,
But it really
she's
does
good.
it will just solidifies again. She should be the element of honesty.
Right.
Time and time again, I'm like, this needs to be switched.
So I wanna get Saber and Race back on their whole argument about Rainbow Dash because I was watching My Little Pony before this started. What? It's like I watched My Little Pony. It was the testing 1 2 3, and I was like, wow, Rainbow Dash is just the worst because it's like all my friends are trying to help me so I don't fail this test, and all I can think about is screw you guys, I don't need to study, I'm too cool for that.
What episode or what season was that in?
4, 5, something one of those.
I think it was 4.
4, 5, or 6. Those all blend together.
Because there was. Let us all remember, bronies, that there was an episode.
What did you call me?
You heard me.
What?
There was a whole season where the show was like, okay, what we're gonna do is literally shit on these characters and make them all look like pieces of shit. That was the whole season. And then once Applejack's turn came around to be a piece of shit, she was like, I didn't learn anything. Fuck y'all. So
That was season 2.
That was season 2, though.
Yeah.
With the Flim Flam brothers the first time?
Yeah, the cider.
Yeah, that was really early on. That was the first time that Applejack wrote to Princess Celestia.
no, I thought
I didn't learn anything at all.
Yeah, because it was I didn't learn
season
anything. It's
season
all about
2 wasn't
hard
when
work.
they were crapping on everybody, was it?
I think
No, it's not.
You're thinking of 6 probably.
Season
No,
5 and
season 6 was just
maybe.
not good. See, I'm right and everyone's wrong. So
Okay.
let's continue. No,
Well,
yeah.
you really are
This current
Rainbow Dash.
episode.
Rainbow
Now you
Dash
see-
really is your favorite.
Now you see why I like it so much. I'll stand behind my girl. All right, Sarah. I will always love Rainbow Dash.
Uh-huh.
And you're pretty cool too.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But yeah, no, I back to it though. As far as the sister dynamic in here. Now I did see in the chat, Cadet Redshirt said that what was portrayed here with Luna and Celestia is 100% how her and her sister are. So okay, all right, I'll give it. I think the only reason that I was kind of stepping back.
Well, of course, there's sisters out there that fight.
Well, what I was gonna say was the only reason I brought that up as like okay, is that I felt like the last Luna and Celestia episode that we had, where they were arguing about their roles, and granted that was day-to-day stuff, not going on vacation stuff, but I just felt like, okay, saw this. Now that's not me saying that I didn't enjoy the episode and enjoy a lot of the stuff happening in the episode. I was just like, my God, sisters always fight. Dang it. But granted, maybe they do. Maybe they should.
No.
Yeah.
Me and my sister don't fight. We did as kids, but we don't anymore.
That's what you say now.
Oh, we're pretty
That's why you moved to California.
No.
Yeah, that's how bad of a fight you guys had. All right. Any last thoughts on this episode, though?
I love the faces. Oh my gosh, when Celestia and Lena were singing their song and they were in they were like riding on that.
Yeah, there's like new faces.
So good.
Yeah.
Celestia like bent her head back and made that face. I was like, oh, you precious.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. What I'm seeing this season is like kind of bumming me out. That I'm like, this is the last season because
the hiatus,
yeah, because there's so many things that I'm like, oh, that's so cool, like animation wise alone. Then I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see them really utilize that for the last 13 episodes of My Little Pony.
Yeah.
They started stepping out the faces from like season 7 on.
Yeah.
I mean, pleasingly, they've always been stepping it up from season to season, it seems.
Well, the animation, maybe not the story, but you know.
Well, yeah.
Damn.
Whoa.
Not every story can be perfect.
Season 6 was not good, bro. But okay.
What?
I didn't like season 6 at all.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
I think maybe there was one episode. One?
It was the one with Princess Ember. And that's it.
No, I thought that was 5.
No, that's 6.
That's 6. Maybe it's episode 5 of season.
maybe we aren't as brony as I thought because none of us can figure out what
Dude,
season.
there are
ever-
200 diddly dang episodes of this show.
Diddly dang.
I love when we're at conventions.
I mean, I could tell you what episodes are in season 7.
Well, I love when we're at conventions and we'll have somebody there come up and be like, so season 3 episode 11, what did you think about Rainbow Dash in that one? And I'm like,
It's like, you gotta help me out, man.
and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry, that was blank, and they'll tell me the title, and I'm still looking at them like, what? Tell me what happened.
If it's season 1 or 2, I got you. Like, you can say whatever.
I still mix ones up, like Lesson 0 and Party of 1. I sometimes somehow confuse.
I don't
People
even
want
know what
crazy.
part
One's
of
where
one
Twilight
is.
goes insane, the other one's where Pinky goes insane.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Hirasashi, are you trying to tell me that you don't like A Hearthwarming Tale or the Saddle Row Review? Do you want me to like say the episode, season,
No,
and number because that's what we were just
first
talking
one-
about?
The first one, the Saddle Row Review, I do like that one. Was that
Yeah,
in
it was
season
season
6?
6, baby.
Oh, okay. I didn't like the Hearthwarming Tale, though.
Oh my god. So you don't like?
When Starlight Glimmer was Scrooge.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, I think
That
we
was
all
fun.
didn't like it because it came out in May, and we're like, why is there a Christmas?
Yeah.
Right?
The main thing was what did it in. Otherwise, I liked it as an episode.
In the mood.
Thanks, M.A. Larson. Jesus.
But yeah, okay, I forgot about Saddle Row Review.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
did.
one.
Yes.
There we go. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to skedaddle into raffle time.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Waffle time.
raffle time. So the way we've set this up is we do have people entered in. So we see the
Oh
entrance.
my god, I haven't entered yet.
Are you, I think you're set, aren't you?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so what we're gonna be doing is Sarah's right now. Can they see this? Oh wait,
No,
take
not
out the
yet.
spoilers.
I know. I'm not having them see this yet.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
All right.
Boink.
Oh wow, look at that! You're all set up.
Yeah.
High budget
This
warmer.
is the same one that we used last time.
All right, same one we used last time. So the names are in there. And yeah, so the way this is gonna work is obviously, like we said, we have 2 passes for BronyCon, 4-day badges. We will have the codes. I have the codes, and we will email you those codes. You will enter those codes exactly as they are written the way we send you them. It'll say ACRacebest and then the code. You want to enter the whole thing. So, oh man, are you all nervous?
No.
I'm so
Nah.
scared.
Laura's
What if
scared.
I don't
I'm
win,
more
guys? I'm not gonna be able to
excited.
make it.
Nervous-sided would be the best way to describe it.
I'm seeing, of course, names are recognizing here.
Mhm. All right, are we ready to spin?
All right. So yeah. All right. I need everybody to do drum roll in the chat right now. Let's see the drum roll in the chat.
Is there a drum emoji?
I don't know, but I want to see. People could do drum roll in the chat. I know they can do it. I believe.
Are we spinning?
They're gonna do the drum roll.
Okay.
I know they're.
We
there
need
we
to
go.
see
Drums.
one drum.
Tap tap tap.
Okay.
What do we do?
It has to be like an emoji, right?
James Justice.
James Justice.
Oh, good. Dude, James is a cool guy. I like him a lot.
Well, guess
Wait,
what? What? Saber?
I was gonna say real fast. Paleo, how's Lammy doing?
He's good.
Can you give him a pet for me later?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Not now though, but later.
Yeah, definitely not right now. Now's not.
He would know it was inauthentic.
I'm cranking up at the spin thing because it clearly like does the colors so there aren't any colors next to each other, but then at the top there's 2 that are the same color.
Dun, dun, dun.
So what's the point of that? All right. Well, congratulations, James. We will. Sarah will be sending an email.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
After the podcast.
So again, and thank you for tuning in and again being a viewer here at the Semi Perfect Podcast. And again, everybody, thank you so much. All right, let's see who gets the next one, Sarah.
Spin it.
Spin it.
Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh,
Pixie!
Oh.
Hell yeah.
PXY.
Person. That's Pixie.
Pixie.
Pixie in the chat.
Going to
Pixie.
BronyCon.
I saw Pixie earlier.
Dun, 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 dun.
I know I've seen James, so I know that's good.
Oh yeah, James definitely chimed off in the chat.
Wait, Cadet says Pixie getting that win again. Does that mean did Pixie win last year?
Last year.
Ah! There's Pixie. Pixie, congratulations. I know. I see Brett Fields going, gosh dang it. Because both times it went right past her name. I was like,
damn.
No. Oh.
Well, congrats to the
Yeah,
winners.
congrats and thank you to all of our entrants and thank you to, of course, as we always say, all of our supporters here on the Semi Perfect Podcast. You all are so amazing and thank you so much for being there for us. Otherwise, we'd be
It's
just
lovely.
talking to ourselves, and that would be just unbearable. Talking to.
And now it is question time.
Oh, all right. So Q&A. So we're gonna get into the.
I have a question. Just in general, it's not from anybody. Does anybody find it weird when in cartoons they draw the nipple? I prefer my cartoon characters to not have the nipple.
Wait a minute. This is
when they're shirtless.
This is coming from one of the biggest.
When cartoon characters are shirtless, I prefer not to see their nipples.
That is
No,
not
no.
true.
I thought it too. I did.
Let me tell you. So
Yeah.
it depends. It depends
It does
on the
depend.
show and the cartoon. Because, like, if it's anime, it's not as unsettling. But if it's, like, an American cartoon, I'm just not okay with it.
Hero, you know why I'm struggling with this.
Yeah.
Okay. Palo, you're gonna have to explain this to me. Because
You know how in some like cartoons, when a character is shirtless,
yeah,
they either draw the nipples or they don't draw the nipples.
yeah.
Can
But-
you give us an example
but-
of the
but-
nipple
Well,
variety?
okay. It's here's why I'm confused. Is that you happen to be one of the biggest connoisseurs, the biggest
I'm talking about with.
of
I'm talking
Boobs.
about with males, with male characters.
Oh, see, that's different. Okay, we're talking about
Yeah.
male
That
characters.
is
I'm
different.
not-
Okay, I didn't know you meant.
You
that.
weren't
Yeah,
talking
I-
about the shirtless female characters
Yeah,
that are on TV.
In what cartoon that is specifically made for kids, probably.
Oh my god.
What cartoon that's made for kids has boy nipples?
No, I mean, because Race was thinking I was talking about boobs.
I
I thought
was.
you were too. When did we specify that it was kids cartoons?
What the fuck are
Are
we
you
even
just
talking
talking
about?
about-
I've
We're talking about
Well,
nipples.
the initial question was
We're
why.
going to
why
Q&A. I'm sorry.
If it's a shirtless male, I should have said.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why Paleo didn't specify, because if it's on TV, it's probably going to be a male who has his
Okay.
nipples showing.
Yeah.
Except
I
if
would be
it's like
very,
Total
I would
Drama
be very
Island or whatever.
confused.
Oh no, and then anime also exists.
There is that one scene in Zootopia. So,
Oh.
Q&A.
See the chat knew I was talking about males.
Yeah.
Wow. My
So
God.
wait, my question is: are we gonna talk about Toy Story? Or are we gonna...
We're probably going to... So, Sarah made a Toy Story thing.
Yeah.
I just...
Honestly, that's why I asked, because I wanted to know what the spoiler screen was. But it's okay, I can wait.
Oh, yeah.
I
No.
can give y'all a peek.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. So, don't worry. We're not going to be discussing... Oh, my God.
I'm so excited.
Indeed.
We're not actually discussing Toy Story
I
for
actually
anyone.
spent like a lot of time today putting together like 3 spoiler screens.
I want to see all of them.
Okay.
Show me Godzilla as you spelled it.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. There's
Oh wait,
Godzilla.
Saber's here.
Is he?
What's up?
Oh, hey.
I just realized, but since we are
Porky's
getting into
my
Q&A.
precious boy.
Oh man.
I couldn't find a good gif of Godzilla that wasn't blown to fuck. Like
Yeah.
So next
I do
time
appreciate the ocean though. It's,
we
it's so
won't
foreboding.
have episodes to discuss on the next show. Oh my god. So what we'll do is here's some previews for the next show that we'll do.
Yeah.
Some movies that we'll talk about. So make sure you all go see Toy Story 4 so we can talk about that too. Good lord.
I'm
I
sorry,
like that you
just
capture
saw
the
you
moment where the
laugh.
smile just disappears.
Is that supposed to be the audience? Like what is?
Sure, I guess. I found that gif and I was like, oh my god, I really need to look at gifs of this moment where like he just makes these series of faces where he's so uncomfortable.
Oh my god.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
All right. So where were we? Oh, okay.
Questions.
We're Q&A.
Questions.
Okay, let me see here. Let me see
I
what
think
we've got here.
This is about that's June 12th.
That is
right?
June 12th. So go ahead and send in. And like we mentioned, if you'd like to have your question prioritized, go ahead and send it through Super Chat. Otherwise, we will be focusing for now on Twitter.
Can I also bring up a pony thing that we haven't talked about?
Yeah.
The Dazzlings music video that was
Oh
released?
yeah.
Oh, so I
recently?
have to admit something. I haven't seen it.
It's good. Wait, have you all talked about the upcoming thing where it's in the style of the movie?
Yeah, so there's we
Rainbow
mentioned it.
Road trip.
Special?
Yeah, there's a special.
Yeah, that's coming out this weekend.
Oh shit.
Cool.
Oh.
I am
I
ill
didn't know it
prepared.
was gonna be in the style of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I like how now we're all excited about it, where before the movie came out, we're like, I don't know about this animation.
I like the animation.
I was more worried about the shadowing than the animation.
Yeah, definitely, but that was a boo boo on the rendering part.
But yeah, so like I said, I still need to see it, but I can't imagine there's like spoilers necessarily.
No.
So I'd say
It's
go
just a
for it.
video.
Let's talk about how was it.
I liked it a lot. That's why I wanted to bring it up, but we don't have to talk about it because it was just like, they existed in Rainbow Rocks and then didn't exist for years, and then it's just like, bam, here's a music video. That's the Dazzlings.
What? No, they were in some flashback in the pony episode. Remember?
That's
Oh,
true,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
They were sirens though.
And like the season 7 like finale.
Mhm.
See, I'm a broner.
A broner.
You're
yeah,
a
but
big
I'm excited
broner.
to see what they do with them in the future because they're
Yes,
probably
me
gonna bring
too.
them back. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's cool. I intend on seeing it. I just haven't. Like yesterday,
It's
Sarah's
like
like,
3 minutes. I think you can
Yeah,
spare.
it's
Oh,
only like
yeah.
2 minutes.
yeah, I meant to. It's one of those things where if it's not right in front of me, I'm gonna forget to do it. So I forgot to do it. I'll check it out though, for sure. What's funny is during this discussion, I probably could have checked it out.
Yeah.
But there you go.
And here we are.
So yeah, I'll
That
make sure.
first one up there is juicy.
We'll get to it.
Okay,
We'll
fun.
get to it.
Okay.
Let's see here. Well, I'll hit this one. Since it's obviously a big topic in entertainment and just social media in general. Oziel's asking thoughts on the passing of Etika. So Etika was I believe, YouTuber slash Twitch streamer who recently actually, I don't know if it's confirmed that it was suicide, but
Oh,
Yeah.
it is.
yeah. So
It's heavily implied.
yeah, and essentially it really is bringing up the discussion of entertainers and stress and of course mental health, which is always a topic that I feel is something that we should always be reminded of how important mental health is. Yeah, of course, or unfortunately, led to Etika making that ultimate decision. But yeah, I don't know if anyone here has anything to say on this topic, but I figured I'd bring it up in case anyone did.
I'd watched his videos before, a few of them, like not specifically to go watch him, but just like, hey, I like Persona. I want to look up Persona videos, and it's popped up, and something like that has happened many times. So I knew he existed.
Yeah.
I knew his like demeanor. So it was just, yeah, I opened up Twitter, and then, or I guess Discord, and then I got that information. I was like, whoa, that was a lot of information I wasn't even slightly ready for today. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
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 I actually felt really sad. I know of Etika, but I found a lot of people who looked up to him, and seeing his struggle devolve, where each episode got worse and worse, and I, as an observer on the outside, was like, man, I hope he's not doing this for attention. Not claiming that he was at all, but I was like, it was just very confusing. But when he disappeared, I think that's when folks were like, oh, this could be terrible because he could possibly kill himself. Because I saw people talking about that. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt sick to my stomach. I was like, oh my god, he did it. Like, that's terrible. Like, I don't even watch his content. I just felt sick thinking of how many people loved and looked up to him. It's never the answer, and it's so sad. I don't know, just so sad that he had those demons were chasing him and he took his life.
Yeah, he was around our age. He was like 29.
Yeah, I'm older than him, man. We both are. It's terribly sad. He's like, still a young person with lots of life left, and also a huge, following of people who looked up to him. It just goes to show you that like no one's invincible. Like no one. Look at Robin Williams. I mean, he took his life, and he's like a legendary guy. I mean, no one's invincible from this stuff. So it's just good to talk and be proactive about it. So.
Yeah.
Especially those that are in the limelight or thrive off certain energy, when that's where you derive your joy of life from. That's a very dangerous place to put yourself in.
Yeah, I can only imagine he also had a lot of people who were. I don't know how many times he read comments, but I'm sure there were tons of people who were just being evil to him. So hopefully that didn't influence him. Well, at this point, I guess it doesn't matter, but whatever. I don't know. I hope there aren't bad people that would tell him that, because that's evil. That's evil.
I really feel like, again, when stuff like this happens, it of course brings up conversation, which hopefully leads to these kind of situations being prevented, or at least more prevented. And with something like this, conversation, if you are somebody who feels alone in a situation, more often than not, you're not, and there are people that want to help, and I know it's not,
yes.
and I understand, not personally, but through these situations, that no matter how many times, sometimes when someone's in the situation, hears that, they still, it might not get through, but it again, it's one of those things to, always try to just look out for each other, and kind of, keep the conversation going about the importance of mental health. I feel like one thing, because I've seen a lot of this discussed, and it's one thing that I actually don't feel like a lot of people are mentioning, is that sometimes there is a point where as an individual, we need to be able to tell ourselves, maybe it's time to take a step back, because I've seen a lot of conversation come up from this, from people who do, whether it's YouTube or streaming or whatnot, on the entertainment side, talking about the stress that it puts them through, talking about, in a lot of cases, how bad of an environment it is. And I feel like sometimes it's worth kind of pointing out, look, in the event that this environment is this toxic, or it's not working out, or it's this, it doesn't mean that there aren't options in the future. Maybe this isn't the profession, for some people. I feel like this is a topic that a lot of people don't want to kind of focus on. It's usually like, I understand, saying, look, people behind a screen can be nasty, and we've seen it. We've probably all been through it, where there's people that, can bring down your self-esteem, can put you in a darker place. And the reality of it is that for some of us, it's harder to cope with that stuff than others, and there are other options, other venues of making a living in some cases. I'm not saying that it makes anything that someone being negative is doing is okay, but also I feel like it's important to realize that you're not, no matter how old you are, what stage of life you're in, you're not stuck with what your situation is. You can always do something else. You can always change your environment. You can always change what's going on for you. And I know it's harder for some than others, but it's something that I don't think is discussed a lot. But when I see this kind of situation, and I see, even a lot of close friends mentioning how hard this kind of stuff is, this is the kind of thing that I would say is this where you want to be? Is this what you want to do? Are there other options? Maybe let's, talk about everything, not just, what's holding someone back. So that was one thing I wanted to kind of just say. I don't know if anyone has anything to go with or against that, but
absolutely. Ultimately, no matter what obstacles are in your way, at the end of the day, you are the one in control of what you do with them, how you handle them. And sure enough, sometimes it gets piled on heavier than others. Sometimes you are down a hole. At the same time, I was about to say what goes down must come up, but that's the inverse of physics. But no matter how far down you go, there is a path back, and it's a hard path to walk. And sometimes people choose different options, which is unfortunate to see. But for everyone that's fought a challenge, for everyone that's dealt with that in their life, as you said, Race, there are a lot of other people that have had similar experiences that will share that sentiment with you. For everyone that's going through a thing, chances are good there's someone else on earth that's gone through the same, just like you. And being willing to talk about it, being open to talking about it, it's a difficult point to get to, especially since, these days there's a sentiment of being very judgmental, or, what will people think of me if, to admit that we're not perfect. But the ability to do that, while difficult, I think is probably something we could all do more of, just in general.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I knew that was probably a topic that was going to pop up since I saw it was in the Q&A. I figured, let's go. So on that note, sad story, but like we said, hopefully there can be positives from this for others in the future. And yeah. So again, if you're ever in that kind of situation, if you're ever feeling down, if you're never feel like there's shame in telling somebody that how you feel. There's not. We're all human
Can I
beings.
tell you all about my? By the way, I'm not trying to interrupt, but like
Go.
I want to tell my bird story later.
Oh, how about this? I'll dip into a question to kind of bring the mood into another direction, and then I want to hear your story.
Okay, sure.
All right. So this is a question that I don't know if anyone's going to have an answer to, but Waddles was asking thoughts on the first trailer for Infinity Train. Does anyone know about this?
I do.
I've watched the pilot.
Is it spoilery?
I did
You're
not watch.
making
no,
a face.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just haven't seen the trailer. I watched the pilot for it and stuff, but
Oh.
I haven't watched the trailer.
How?
Like,
So Laura, you watched the
On
pilot too?
Yeah, I'm in the same place as Sarah.
Oh. So how was it?
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I think it'll be a fun cartoon.
I have no idea what it even is.
Well, I'll show you then.
It's a train that's infinite. Infinity
Really?
train.
That's it?
Basically, like there's this girl that is trying to, like, I guess, escape from the train, so she has to go through like each car and like figure out like there's like a different like world or something in these cars.
So it's like an extreme cartoon version of an escape room, but each episode's a new escape room.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cartoon.
Cool. All right. Worth checking out, it sounds like. Okay. So with that, Saber, I want to hear your nature story.
It's a short one. So I'm at a family reunion in Minnesota right now, and there's so many pretty lakes here, and there's all kinds of beautiful animals. Sarah, you'd love it. I know you're a nature person. You really like it. The lakes are super clear, and there are a bunch of bald eagles who nest on the lake. And I also, when I was kayaking out there, they have these 2 baby loons, and they're adorable, and they're also terrifying. I can't trust like waterfowl. I feel like they're gonna fuck my shit up if I'm not careful. Actually, my dad and I went out with our family on a pontoon today, and he jumped in the water from across the lake, and this loon, I kid you not, came out of the water because they swim underwater, and it started to almost attack my dad. Like you could hear it go, "Whoo, whoo, whoo," the little sound they make in the distance, and it was like up on its hind legs, flapping in the water. And I'm like, Dad, you're swimming towards a goddamn loon. You're gonna get your neck bitten or something. And he's got his earbuds in for swimming, and I'm like, you can't even see it. My Uncle Mike jumped in the water to give him backup, and the loon was just swimming around like yelling at him. Like we were laughing like it's like a Jaws movie. We'll see like their torsos being pushed through the water. Like, but going back to the other story, so this is so cool. I actually saw nature in action today. We're walking back out to the pontoon, and on the dock, I heard the loons freaking out. Like I just hear them squawking like crazy across the lake, and then I heard the eagles squawking like crazy, and I'm like, what's going on? And I saw this eagle dive down towards the baby chicks I saw yesterday, and one of the loon parents jumped in the air and like almost collided with the eagle in midair. It was like a dogfight, and you just hear these birds just screaming at each other, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a nature, it's happening. And the eagle flew away. So I think eagles prefer to scavenge if they can, but yeah, it was wild. The day before, there was a bass that was dead in the water, and the eagles kept swooping in to grab it, but it was too heavy, so they just gave up. But no, these are straight up like these eagles are out to get food, and those 2 chicks, I mean, they could be on the menu. According to the guys who run the place, they said that there were like a ton of chicks earlier this year, and there's only like 2 left, and it's like, oh geez, nature.
Did you hit on any?
Tasty.
Did I what?
Did you hit on any? Any chicks?
They're chicks.
Listen, all right. Nah. Dignify that with a laugh. But I did make out with them though.
The motherling was stabbing me in the ear with her needle beak. But no,
Boy,
it's
you're
really
into some
neat.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, right. Foul play, I suppose. No, it was cool though, seeing all the animals. I love this place. I love it up here. And there's black bears. My brother-in-law saw a black bear yesterday, so it's like legit wild.
Nice.
Nice.
Very cool. I like the part of it's happening. It's happening.
Nature's happening.
We just got a super chat, so we have about 4 questions left that we'll hammer through here to finish off the podcast. First one from Missy just sent in another super chat, so thank you again, Missy. Saying, have you guys seen the MLP manga? It's Hasbro licensed. It has a ton of fan references in it. It's called MLP the Manga. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Manga. A Day in the Life of Equestria Volume 1, story by David Lumsden. Do you guys know about this?
I did not know there was a manga.
I did.
I didn't know there was a manga at all.
Well, I guess.
Well,
we'll
now I
just have
gotta
to check
read it.
out.
Holy cow.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
And
I don't read the manga. I just watch the anime.
and thank you again, Missy, for
Oh,
your...
this looks like some really cute art. I just
Okay.
looked it up.
You're already finding stuff?
Can you link in the general chat
Yeah, we want to see it.
or either the topic chat?
Yeah.
Show us.
Die. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, look at that.
Aw, cute.
Super cute. All right. So
What'd you
this
post
next
it?
question's
All right.
actually for Laura. And it's from...
Who's that?
It's from Nora. That rhymes. Nora says, my question is for Laura, my favorite person in the Semi-Perfect podcast. Take that, Gabe.
Suck it, Gabe.
That's right. Nora
Yeah,
asks,
Gabe,
what would
suck it.
happen if one day you woke up and you were a mermaid?
Whoa, sorry, say that again?
What would happen if one day you woke up and you were a mermaid?
What would you
Oh
do?
my god, that would suck.
Oh, probably.
So I have
not
like
the
this
food.
really awful fear of the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You
Or
just
like
be a
just
swimming
any
pool.
natural body of water. So even if it's like, oh no, you can be a freshwater mermaid, it's like, no, that's still a nightmare.
What about a swimming pool mermaid?
What about what?
A swimming pool mermaid?
But then like I can't really go anywhere.
You're like, oh my gosh.
Well, what would probably
Well, life is over
happen
for
is
ya.
that I would call. I want to say I would like call 911 first, but more realistically, I'd call like one of my parents first and be like, "So this is what's happening."
Are you sure you'd be that calm about it?
No.
Can mermaids breathe air?
Yes.
Well, Ariel could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after,
Yeah.
after the sea witch had her way with her.
No, she could before.
But I mean, even before,
Oh, yeah, no,
she was
sitting up
like,
on that rock.
she would go above water and
like
do
she
stuff
hung
and
out
breathe.
like on the side of Eric's
Yeah.
boat for like 30 minutes watching him dance and be all,
Yeah.
being all creepy.
We never saw what she was doing with the
Creep.
lower half either.
Huh?
Nothing.
Huh? What?
No, I made a joke. Huh.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I would
that-
be scared and
would-
concerned.
That would be inconvenient because you would be waking up in the situation, so you'd still be like in bed. Like you'd have to get
Yeah.
to water.
Yeah. And it's
That would be
like, well,
very
I guess I'm
difficult
going to
'cause I
work
live
like
alone.
this.
I like that. I like that you would call your parents first. Like I'm trying to think. I would probably call 911. I don't know. Actually,
Like, I
I'd
want to say I would call 911, but like more realistically, I'd probably be like, "So, mom or dad, should I go to the hospital?" And they'd be like, "Yes. Why are you calling me? You should go to the hospital." I'd be like, "But are you sure though?"
That's true though. You're right because like then you have to think like, wait, if I go to the hospital, are they gonna experiment on me?
Exactly. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See,
Also,
that's the
like,
kind
can you
of-
imagine those medical bills? Like, no, thank you.
Plus,
I think
like
about that stuff a lot, actually.
from a guy's perspective, you also have to worry like, are they gonna draw nipples on me or?
We've come full circle.
Oh, they'd be 2 circles. All right. Let's see here. So that leaves us with what? Where did I miss it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so our last couple questions. Pixie is asking, I had a disagreement with a friend recently and wanted to know what your thoughts were. Should live action style remakes be considered animation or not? I don't consider full CG movies animated, but maybe that's just me. What do you guys think?
Full
Yeah, they're
CG movies
animated.
are animated.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
full CG animated movies are animated.
So
movies.
Lion King is an animated movie?
Yes.
The one coming
Lion
out?
King's animated.
As
Yeah.
much as the
It
director or
literally
whatever
is.
wants to think that he's doing a live action and he keeps, like I guess there was like an article
Is
where
John
he's
Favreau
like,
doing that?
yeah, I think there was an article like written about him like where he's like insisting that is live action, like he
No, it's
doesn't
not.
want to call it
Absolutely not.
animated, which is so
Nothing
weird.
in that movie could exist without animation. Therefore,
I mean, I can understand why he doesn't want to call it animated, just because of all the inevitable connections it's going to draw.
I guess.
It's already drawing connections.
At the same time, yeah, if it's all CG, it is an animated movie.
That's like
Yeah.
like
Was Jungle
But-
Book an animated movie?
mostly,
It had
yeah.
animation in it.
It's like
Well,
99%
essentially.
animation.
Like Lion King.
With
Lion
Other
King
than
is
Mowgli.
full.
Full. Yeah.
But like I just don't know. Like I agree, but then struggle with agreeing because I'm like, yeah, it's animated, but I also don't know how I'd feel if.
Well, let's take it to a broader spectrum here,
Well,
Sarah, and I'll ask you.
Well, wait. So here's my point: is how would you guys feel if Lion King won Best Animated Movie this year? That's where I'm struggling with
that's
calling it animated. Because
I
technically,
would be mad, but I can't call it incorrect. It's animated.
it's
It
animated.
literally
Like-
is.
should there be a
Was-
new
was Who
category? Hyper.
Is Who Framed Roger
Yeah.
Rabbit animated?
Yeah.
That's an animated movie.
But
It's
the
a
whole
hybrid.
thing is that we're talking about full CG.
Well, that's the point. Where does hybrid end? And
you have
know,
to
it-
at least have one live action element, which for Jungle Book was the kid.
So that would be a live action movie. Technically.
So, yeah, there's live action in it. There's I wouldn't say
motion
it's live
capture, even though it uses a human to get the movements, is still animated.
I feel.
yeah,
See,
because there's still
But like
tweaks.
Polar Express?
Yeah,
but that was an animated movie.
when it
Shit.
most animations that use motion capture do tweak animations
Yeah.
post production where they make it a little more fluid,
Unless it's
less,
one of those bad movies that Saber reviews.
Yeah.
And they do not tweak at all.
Sorry, I had to
Sometimes
stop
I don't even
listening
animate.
I just stopped listening just for a quick second. But is anyone disagreeing that if like Lion King is animated and like I don't know 500 Days of Summer is live action, anything that has both animation and live action is a hybrid? Full stop. Is there any disagreement?
I guess the only place where I draw a line is if there is a movie that this is complete different kind of category from the topic, but I would say if there is a movie that utilizes live action in the sense of like at the beginning, like Balto, for example, is an animated movie, even though they have the live action bits at the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
that to me.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit different because like the live action is like so minimal in that it's
So
not like
So
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to say that before saying yes, I agree, because I wanted to make sure that I get that category of movie in there too.
because in
I
that
feel like you have
case,
to take that on a movie by movie basis.
I feel like
that-
definitely a movie
yeah.
that I would consider a hybrid would be something like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where it's very obvious that like we've got
yeah,
live action.
whereas
and
like with
and they interact together.
yeah, where like with the Lego Movie and Lego Movie 2, where it goes between live action and animation.
That's
It's
still
not.
an
It's not.
animated
it's animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
it's
It's
an
animated. It's not really hybrid because it's like the live action is so minimal compared to everything else.
Mhm.
But then that brings me back to Jungle
And then-
Book.
Pixie in the chat actually asks, "Is James Cameron's Avatar animated?" And I say no.
No, because it's live action interacting with animated. But that's so
Nah.
what this brings me back to is going back to my Oscar question. Not saying they need to make a new category every time something different happens, but like I would almost feel like at some point there's going to be such a difference between what we consider an animated movie and a hyper realistic animated movie.
Yeah.
Still
You
animation.
disagree.
I don't know. It's still animation though. I just
So a movie.
like the whole context of this question is Pixie says
I'm
I
back.
don't consider full CG movies animated, but what's the difference between?
Well, but that wasn't the
Like-
question. Should live action style remakes be considered animation or
Okay. But then the whole thing about that's what I'm getting hung up on is the ending of that like whole phrase is I don't consider full CG movies animated, and everybody's bringing up examples like, oh, is this animated? Because all of the examples
what we're saying,
have live action.
well, like
elements.
Hero and the others are saying about Lion King is they would disagree. They're saying full CG movie LionKing is an animated movie.
Yes.
It's an animated, yes.
And I don't know
100%.
where the line is drawn between like say Toy Story 4 and saying that's animated and then being like, oh no, but Lion King isn't because I don't know.
So
like they're both full CG.
Yeah, like I said, it just to me it feels I'm not an animator, but I imagine there's two completely different processes between creating a Toy Story movie and Lion King. I could be wrong, but I just something tells me that there's such
Sure,
different
there's different processes.
Yeah,
But there's still animation.
there's still that's why I'm like, should there be a new? For like with it happening since Jungle Book did it, Lion King's doing it full blown. You know, at some point, because that was a debate because I remember when Jungle Book was out and they were getting towards Oscar season, people were discussing where should that land. And I was like,
just make a category for hybrid, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then we don't have to. Then we get both.
Yeah, but then
But I would say most.
how
movies these
much
days
live
use
action
some
needs to
form
be in a
of
movie
CG.
for it?
To be a hybrid.
Again, I feel like you just
Yeah.
handle that on a case by case basis.
Because like
It's all very gray.
Wall-E has live action in it.
Right.
So-
I recall Wall-E.
Wally's a live action movie.
Well, here's the thing too is because we're going down this trail of saying, oh, we'll do that. It brings up another unrelated but related to animation topic of someone can easily say, okay, but then why wouldn't you also consider that for claymation, which is completely different, but it's still considered animated. So in that sense,
Well, that's stop motion is animation.
but it's live action pictures.
I feel like
It's animated.
And
puppets.
the drawings from an animated movie, like of a 2D animated movie, are also just pictures that somebody made with a camera
Yeah.
Oh my
of those
God.
pictures.
It's a live image.
So we all agree that
so.
This is a very gray.
I want to hear what Laura has
area.
to say. Laura, what are you gonna say?
I feel like there is a line to be drawn between intention, where you're trying to make something as realistic as possible, versus you're trying to make something look stylized.
Yeah.
Because like with things like The Lion King, it's just trying to be like this flex of like, oh, look how realistic these lions look and these other animals and like our water effects and whatever. But like things you can then go to Toy Story where like, you know, the people, even not the toys, like the actual people are not meant to look like, you know, a regular, like I can't distinguish Bonnie from a regular human child. It's like, no, you can tell a difference because one's stylized and one is, you know, what a regular person looks like. So I think there's definitely a line to be drawn between if something's supposed to look stylized versus something is supposed to look super real, like hyper realistic. But I don't know.
Still animated either way though.
It is.
Yeah.
Like strictly speaking, yes.
Yeah.
If it's like the Lion King remake will still be an animated movie.
Yeah.
But I think that like there is maybe a different title or like a different way of saying something that like I'm not sure how to describe it.
There's an
between
animated
something
movie
being-
and a movie with animation in it.
Maybe that's
For
the way to
example,
do
the
it.
Avengers, the Hulk's animated, but he's not.
What?
It's not an animated movie.
Well,
I'm sorry, did I lose you there, Race? Did you not know the Hulk was animated? Was that a spoiler?
This was a juicy debate to end on because obviously we're way over time.
Yeah,
on the
but
podcast.
Avengers is not animation though, so I saw
Exactly.
that a question in there where was it Avengers animated?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
but
Captain Marvel is
I
far
mean,
from animated.
Thanos and Hulk are animated.
All right. Well, you know what? This sounds like a topic that
It's-
we might want to revisit.
And sometimes
at some
Iron
point.
Man and
It's
Spider-Man are also animated.
yeah.
Sometimes.
It's complicated.
Good
but
question.
CG is a very good tool, to help,
Yeah,
effects.
enhance.
enhance.
But yeah, no, this might be something that we want to talk about in the future because this is obviously a lot of people have stuff to say. But that being said, I'm putting a close on the topic unless anyone wants to have a last word on
Ross
that.
said he asked if it was a hybrid.
Can we at least all agree that everything in video games is animated? Because it
No,
has
there
to
will be
be.
no agreement, Paleo.
Except for it's like if it's like a full motion video thing, which
I say you could call Avengers a hybrid, but I would still kind of qualify it as live action with CG enhancements.
He's talking about video games.
yeah.
I know. I'm just talking to Ross.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Video games are animated.
Yes. I can't think of a single video game that I wouldn't consider animated.
Wait,
Night Trap.
there was Night Trap, and
Only full motion video games.
And Carmen San Diego.
there are a couple
Yes,
of games
there you
out there
go.
that actually have live action, like
And also
video.
text adventures. Those aren't really.
All right. Everyone, you just calm down.
Yeah.
Again, folks, we're going to be back here in 2 weeks. I am working on pulling up my calendar.
Anime guy says, "Is the Rescuers animated, even though it had the naked woman?"
And that's the right question.
Oh my god.
See, yeah, I appreciate.
That's a good question. Sarah, we're going to be back here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That'll be the 10th of June. Again, we'll talk a lot about a whole bunch of movies during that. We'll also discuss the My Little Pony special that's going to be coming out.
I know a few people are asking when the next Jackbox party is going to be, and I'm trying to figure it out because
weren't you thinking about
maybe next time, like when we maybe after we do some of our topics, or I don't know, we'll figure it out.
what we want?
'Cause
Yeah,
I'm feeling like since there's a hiatus as
yeah.
of right now, that's like a good time
Yeah.
to do another Jackbox.
All right, so we'll definitely look into all that. But again, for all the podcasters that joined tonight, thank you guys for all of you for coming out. For
July. 10th
Thanks
of
for having us
July.
here, Race.
July 10th.
Yeah.
July 10th will be the next show for the Semi-Perfect Podcast. That is a wrap on this one for all of our live viewers and, of course, all of our viewers listening on, I was going to say demand. Well, I'll say on demand. But, yes, thank you all for tuning in. Congratulations to our winners, and a big thank you once again goes to Missy for being so generous and just, again, we can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. And we certainly hope to see you at a convention sometime down the road.
Yeah.
That's with all of you folks. But yeah, that's going to be a wrap here. We'll see you in 2 weeks on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
ponies.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.